What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today? All right. Welcome in. All right, I'm gonna just begin, guys. We're having a chill stream today. I'm just be talking to everybody, Q and A's, answering chats, and get everything situated, and then we'll begin. So, I was gonna do some monologues, but I think we'll take it easy. Just do reaction videos. My brain is fried. News is slow. I thought about covering the shutdown, but I'm not in the mood. I was thinking about talking to you guys about some relationship stuff, but I don't know, dude. Got a long Wednesday today. Yeah. I think I'll save this one for tomorrow. We're gonna have a conversation about why your relationship dies when you stop being a man. Basically that's alluding to compartmentalization for dudes. It's an issue that a lot of guys have, but I'll save that one. I'll make that a standalone talk for the second channel, actually. Yeah, that'll be a good one for the second channel. Right now, we're going to react to this video. So we got Nick Rambles here. The dude's 27 years old, is broke, still living with parents. These are getting more and more popular, aren't they? Let's get into it.
Years old, and I'm broke. No, you don't need to get the smallest violin playing for me. I'm okay. All right. I'm all right. But I wanted to talk about this. The reason that I wanted to talk about this, and I decided to get on the bicycle here, I got a car in real life, okay? I do have a car. I'm not that broke, okay? But I want to get on the bicycle to embody the struggle a little bit, because at 27, I won't lie to you guys, I have absolutely struggled. I've struggled with jobs, with money, and I wanted to talk about it because I think sometimes, especially in American culture, I don't think it's like this in all places in the world, but especially in the US, there's a lot of people that kind of expect to have everything figured out at a very young age. And I think the more that you start to live in the real world, some people are completely detached from reality, but if you have friends in the real world and you live a normal life, you start to realize that a lot of people are struggling, and it's not easy to get ahead. It's not easy to move out either. I mean, I'm still living at home. Me and my fiance are still living at home, and I
Beyonce.
think there's always been kind of a stigma around that, and the idea that, oh, how could you be living at home in your 20s and whatever, like, get your shit together. And
And he got a fiance.
again, if you
So he's 27, broke, got a fiance, though. What's your excuse, boys? He's doing something right. He's got a fiance.
have friends in the
Oh, did I misspell
real
it? I'll fix
world,
it.
I think it's much easier to understand that not everybody's moving out, and it doesn't matter what you're doing. So I'm going to talk about what I've been doing over the past few years, how I
No,
ended
it's
up in this
Planet.
position, what I'm anticipating, what I'm planning
No, the title's correct on the stream. Get me off this planet, bro.
to do, what I'm currently doing to get out of this situation, and for me and my fiance to go and start, our own life, right? But I'm going to talk about some of my friends as well, and kind of how they ended up where they are, and just to give you guys an idea of what reality is at this age and at any age in life. I mean, I'm 27, but again, there's a lot of 20-year-olds that start thinking, oh, I got to get out of the house. I can't. How am I not like? Chill out a little bit. Hear what I have to say and come to your own conclusions. If you're someone that has been able to move out at a young age, you're making a lot of money, you're 20 in your 20s, God bless. I that's amazing, but it's difficult. And I'll start with, so I have a small group of friends. Okay, I have a small group of friends, and Out of these three friends, one has managed to move out, and all three of them are working traditional careers. So one of them's in cybersecurity, the other one's in sales, and the other one's in the medical field. And the one that was able to move out was the one in cybersecurity. But they're all making okay money. They're fine, and they live in different. Two of them live in New York. The other one's in Florida. The one in Florida was able to move out, but he did it because he moved out with his brother and another friend. And now he's in a position now where he can go and rent his own place and whatever. But initially he had to move out with two other people because it's difficult to pay rent and have enough money to do that at a young age. And the other two are still living at home as well. And again, they're making, regular money, regular job money, whatever. And I'm the crazy one that has tried to make a living on the internet, which I will talk about today, and I'll give you guys a little bit of understanding of what to expect from that, because I think there is a lot of conversation around escaping, especially online, escaping the 9 to 5 and making a living on the internet and just quit your job and go and escape the rat race and become rich online, which it's not that simple. Okay. It's not that simple. I promise you that, because I've lived it over the years, but it doesn't mean that it's impossible either. But anyway, three friends, one managed to move out, the other two still living at home, and I'm still living at home as well. Right. So this idea that you need to kind of have everything figured out and you need to move out early 20s, get your shit together. It's not that simple, and it's okay if it takes you a little bit of time. And tune out the shit you hear online. Because again, if you just have friends in the real world, you're not going to hear this shit. Or the only place that you hear people saying, "Oh, get your act together, figure it out, go make a shit ton of money and go live on your own, get away from your parents and whatever," it's just toxic shit that you see on the internet. Most of the time, you're never going to hear that in the real. Most people in the real world would be like, "Yeah, it's a struggle out there." Right? It's a struggle out there. It's hard. It's hard to make a good amount of money. It's hard to make money to pay rent, to pay bills, to do that. It's just, that's reality. That's reality. You can't escape it. But again, it's different for everybody. Some people find a way to break through earlier on. And again, if that's you, power to you. It's great. But a little bit of my backstory. I was on the traditional path, and I went to law school. So I got my college degree. Okay, so I didn't drop out of college. I went to college. I did the 4 years, did everything I had to. At the time, I was working as a hockey coach. I was making a little bit of money doing that. And my plan was to go to law school and become a lawyer. So I do a year of law school, and it was during, it was 2020 that I go to law school, and it was online because of what was going on in the world at the time. And after that first year, I had to drop out. And I'm not going to get into full details as to why I dropped out, because I don't know what YouTube's rules are about talking about this topic. I'll leave it at that I had to leave for circumstances outside of my control in 2021. Okay, I will leave it at that. Again, partially, I'm not going to talk about this because I don't know what YouTube's rules are on this topic, so I'm not going there. And also, I don't want to fight with people over this, because this is really a personal decision, and I don't care what your decision was around this thing going on at the time. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Right? Are we on the same page? I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. So I had to leave in 2021 for circumstances outside of my control. And after that, I didn't know what to do, right? Because I had this vision in my mind that I was going to be a lawyer. Right? I was going to be a lawyer, and that's going to be my salary, and that's what I'm going to do with my life. And now I'm in a position where I just get kind of blindsided, and I'm like, okay, I guess I got to figure something else out now. So immediately
Someone said you got to get out of your parents' place early. Here in Sweden at 18, you're out. I think that's the worst decision you could possibly make. Why would you kick your kid out at 18? It's the biggest fucking psyop that we have here in the West. Kick your kids out early. Don't help them. There's so much wisdom that your parents have that you could use from 18 to like 24. Unless you're just gifted in some way or earning a ton of money or on a full ride, you need to stay at home and you need to save money, right? If your family's not rich, stay at home, save money, soak up as much wisdom as you can, and then you're able to, on a better financial footing, start your life a little later in that sense. This is new. This 18-year-old out the house thing, this is fairly new concept that sprung up out of America in like the 50s, 60s because of like the extreme financial wealth that was experienced by the middle class, that your child could leave basic job, sustain themselves with no problem. That's no longer the case anymore. The rest of the world, people live with their parents up until they're like 30 years old. So I don't understand why we kick our kids out so early. And that's why when immigrants come to the United States, they tend to do so well because the families stick together. They'll have like multiple people living in one house that normally an American's like, no, dude, this should be the parents' house and that's it. And they have this giant house to themselves. No, it's like the parents, like the uncles and the aunts, it's the kids. I'm not saying you got to go to that level and have fucking 20 people in a house, but I'm saying if you're a child or if you're a parent, have your child in that house until they're like mid 20s or ready to financially help your child. Like even if you don't have money, like you have no money to give your kid, if they can live with you until they're 24, that's value. Because the other kid at 18 that was forced out, he's paying rent at 18. That's free money going to somebody else out of the pocket of your own family. That's so stupid, dude. That's the dumbest thing we've ever done.
Do what a lot of people do in this day and age, and I decide to turn to the internet because I'm like, okay, I mean, I guess I could try to work from home, try to figure something out, and go from there. Freelancing, whatever. It was very popular at the time, still is today, but especially then. And I decided to try to learn how to code because I think that's pretty much a starting point for a lot of people when it comes to wanting to work from home. And I learned a little Python for a month, but as the time started going on, I started to kind of realize like this just I can't do this. Like this is not my this is not for me, and I was okay with that. I was okay to
He
admit
sounds
that
like
this was
me,
not
literally.
my like I could not envision myself doing that for a living. It's just it wasn't for me. So then I decided to give streaming a try on Twitch, and the reason that I did it was because I'd seen other people doing it and making a decent amount. You know, you watch enough streams on Twitch and you see people making a pretty decent amount of money, and I'm like, okay, I mean, even if I can make a fraction of that, that wouldn't be bad. It would be a decent income, and I managed to turn that first channel into something that was making me a decent enough income. It was making me between $3,000 and $5,000 a month, which to me,
Whoa.
at that time especially, I didn't even appreciate it as much as I do now. But at that time, it was unbelievable. And I was
Damn.
also on Twitch at a time that I think people were spending more, which was something that when you're working in, especially on Twitch, on the internet, you have to understand there's hot and cold seasons. So that's something you have to keep in mind. It's the same thing with business too, is that there's times where people are just going to be more willing to spend money, especially in something like Twitch, where the money that you're making is primarily donation based, right? And at that time, there were a lot of people spending money because people were getting stimulus checks. So a lot of people were just way more willing to go and throw money around. And I happened to be in the right place at the right time, and I capitalized on it. Now I ended up leaving Twitch after about a year for a few different reasons, but primarily it got to a point where I just wasn't happy doing it. I wasn't happy doing it. I wasn't really happy with the state of like the community that I was in and what I built, and I walked away. And some
What?
people would hear that and be like, "You're so stupid." I mean, you had such a nice income from it. Like, why would you leave?
Yeah, you're out of your
I
fucking
again,
mind.
I felt I felt that it wasn't for me, and I wasn't
Dude,
happy with it. So I
you fucking dropped the ball. Can you imagine making 3 to 5 thousand a month, not really understanding how lucky you are that you're just streaming and saying something like, I can't agree with him here. Oh, I just didn't like the community I built. Who gives a fuck, bro? Are you out of your mind? Do you know how hard it is to get started as a streamer? I wish I got started as a streamer. I wish I started when I started streaming, I maintained it. I'd be getting thousands of views, tens of thousands of views every live stream right now. But I don't have a schedule set. And I'm barely now getting back into streaming. It takes a while for people to understand that you're doing, consistent streaming. If you get started on just like offline videos that you upload, that's typically the audience you get. If you get started on streaming, you build, nothing beats a live stream audience, nothing. And the fact that you can speak with everybody back and forth like this, you could be active, it makes recording so much more fun. I don't understand. Some people are scared to live stream. Other people like to just record offline and edit their videos. I enjoy live streaming more. I just don't do it because you need like a good internet connection. I've been on the move for a minute, and not every place has good internet, so it sucks. But streaming's fun. I like to read the chat. I like to interact with the chat. They say stupid shit. It makes me laugh. The jokes, stuff like that. If you require, I guess. Well, first, let's just say you're awkward on camera, so you feel awkward recording. So okay, maybe that, especially in a live setting, makes you feel awkward. But no, Starlink sucks for live streaming. Starlink's good for recording stuff offline, but I think what people are scared of live streaming is that these people that record their offline videos have like scripts. Oh yeah, don't worry, Eric. I just wiped everybody off of the modding power, all that stuff. I wiped everybody that was banned too. I turned on auto mods, so don't worry. Yeah. For those that were mods, yeah, don't worry about it. Just enjoy the stream now. You don't have to do any modding. I let the fucking bots do all the work. That's all. We just have to avoid bad words. Everybody else could say what they want, according to YouTube rules. So, the people that offline record videos come off very stiff when it comes to speaking to the camera. So, like, if they don't have a script in front of them and shit that they're reading, they suck. Yeah. Well, welcome. I never had that problem. I basically, all my videos were off the top. I say what I'm thinking of, and it's all live. And you guys see me when I'm fucking crashing out. I don't really bite my tongue. Online video, offline video, doesn't matter. Like live streaming, people that are in the private community and hear me talk on the fucking Zoom calls are like, bro, you literally sound exactly like your videos. No shit, dude. It's all, I don't have scripts and shit. It's just live. We're just talking. That's why it works, because I don't have to do too much prep. The only time I prep is when I have to do insane amounts of deep research on those topics that I've been doing, where I'm like, I guess you could call that monologuing. Bro, because I have notes and shit. Like I need to be able to cite things properly. I can't just spit information out of my ass. So in that sense, I have notes prepared. But that's it. That's about as much as I'll do. Anything else is like too much work. Fuck that. I'd rather speak to people.
I walked away, and ever since I've been trying to figure out how to kind of supplement that income again, because I'm all the while I'm still living at home trying to figure things out. I had a great year, and I move on. I get into copywriting. Copywriting was, and the reason I'm telling you guys these things is because I think sometimes when people are maybe late teens, early 20s, and you hear people kind of talking about the freedom that is working online, it's there. Potential is there, and that's why I'm still trying to make money on the internet in different ways now. But it's absolutely there. It's just you have to understand that all of the avenues are different, and they all come with possibilities, but also with drawbacks, and it's stuff that you have to be aware of going in. So you can't just blindly, like, if any of you are in a position where you're not able to just, like, if your parents are trying to kick you out, if your parents aren't patient with you and aren't supporting your vision, then yeah, stay in the 9-to-5 job and do whatever it is on the side, but don't just be like, I'm just going to go all in on this because it's just going to work. And if you don't have those support systems in place, I'm very lucky. I have a great support system. My parents are okay with what I'm doing, and my fiance is okay with what I'm doing. So I'm able to do this. I'm able to, I have two sources of income right now. One is the YouTube, which I will talk about a little bit, but the other is day trading. And the day trading is taking way more of my time now. And the day trading is like absolutely full time.
Bro, this guy's literally living my life. I was in school to be a lawyer or a dentist. I quit. The only difference is I started my own business, but I also day traded, right? I also started a YouTube channel, did the online thing, just in like a different time frame. 27 years old. Look at him. I was also living with my parents.
Up at 6:45 in the morning, and I'm trading the market till usually at least market close, which is 4 p.m. and sometimes it's after hours. So I'm literally in front of a screen looking at charts and entering, exiting positions all day.
It's so interesting.
That's absolutely full time. So it's not like you just do it for 30 minutes, make a lot of money, and walk away. Again, that's pros and cons to whatever it is that you're doing. But before I get too far off topic into that, I brought up the copywriting because this is another one. It's freelancing, and people hear it and they're like, oh, well, I could just go and be a freelance copywriter. I mean, a lot of people do that. Some people do drop shipping, some people do copywriting, some people do coding. So I tried copywriting because, and this is after Twitch. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I mean, maybe I can make a decent amount. And copywriting wasn't bad. It absolutely wasn't bad. And I would say that if you're someone that, like myself, I had a knack for writing. I was okay. I was good enough. And it was an easier skill for me to learn than coding. So if that's you, there's money to be made in copy. Granted, it's not easy.
I don't know how well copywriting is doing with the advent of AI. That's interesting. And someone said you can't see me yanking people's fucking teeth. I couldn't either. After I shadowed a dentist, I was like, no, I'm good on that. No thanks.
Breaking into the field, it takes time, it takes effort, and you're gonna get a lot of rejections. You're gonna get a lot of, I started off on Upwork.
Means it's true.
Started off on Upwork, sent out a whole bunch of applications.
No, I would have been really good at law. I like doing case studies, research. I love writing. I was a very strong writer, and had a very good vocabulary until I started slowly turning retarded because I started consuming a lot of slop just like everybody else, especially after I started the YouTube channel and I had to do research on TikTok to find clips. So my brain was constantly slopified, and now I struggle finding words. I didn't get jabbed up. I got TikTok brained out. So that's why I stopped doing reaction, because literally my brain was melting and I was losing my ability to remember shit. So I could see my speech pattern, my vocabulary, my English was starting to suffer based on the content that I was consuming. And that's why I read books now and shit like that. I got a bunch of books behind me. I brought my books with me, and I only consume long form content because Jesus, dude. There's a point there where you can see that you were like forgetting mid sentence what the fuck you're talking about.
Applications and whatever, and got denied a whole bunch of times, got ignored, but eventually a couple were fine and they worked, and I got accepted, and I had a decent run. I at my peak, sometimes I'd make a few $100s in a week, which wasn't bad. Like living at home, making that kind of money, just writing, being at my laptop, writing a few whatever it was that I was doing. I mean, I ended up writing for a truck parts company. Like, it was such a random thing, but like the website needed copywriting for these random truck parts, and the guy was paying great. He'd pay me like $30 for like a little block of copy, which took me like 15 minutes, which was awesome. So there's plenty of potential in whatever it is that you're trying to break into. It's just it's not the problem is with working online is that it can be inconsistent, and when it's good, it can be great, but when it's just kind of quiet and not really working, it can be a bit of a struggle. So again, you need that patience, you need a support system, you need people that understand what it is that you're trying to do and what the possibilities are. But again, not everybody's in that position, right? And so you have to be realistic, or you have to be realistic about whatever it is that you're doing, and the possibilities and how long certain things take. Now, after the copywriting, I actually gave Twitch another try. I did okay the second time around, and but it wasn't like the first time, and I just kind of basically ended up coming to the same conclusion that it's not for me here. It's not for me. And
Wow.
that's probably the one thing that I did that I was kind of I did not need to do. I did not need to come back a second time. It's just when you're living this in the moment and you're trying to figure out how to make money on your own and be self-sufficient without going to traditional path. Because I've had traditional jobs over the years too. Because some people would just be like, just get a regular job. I've done it. Okay, I've washed dishes. I did that for probably, I'd say that one was a little more short-lived, like four months, maybe a little bit less. I don't remember. But that one was short-lived. I worked in catering. I worked as a waiter at a catering place for about a year. I mentioned that I worked as a hockey coach. So that one was a little bit untraditional, but more traditional, I guess, than what I'm doing now. But I've had those jobs. Okay, I've done those jobs, and I've realized that it's just not what I want to do.
I had the same realization very early. I got sick of the same fucking type of bosses, the same stupid deadlines, the same corporate talk of, wow, I'm a good wage cuck and what's expected of me, and clock in and clock out like a fucking cattle. And when you do the calculation after your first paycheck of how long it's going to take you to attain the thing you want, it'll make you pull your hair out of your head. Seriously. I don't know how a lot of people do. Well, I know how people do it because I used to do it. Yeah, labor in exchange for money is awful. It really is. Unfortunately, most people just don't know how to start something that is trading your ideas for money. Like, we're taught in school how to be laborers, how to trade the time, how to trade your two hands and 8 hours a day for a paycheck. And you're not taught how to make money off your ideas, how to scale an idea and make it profitable, or how to teach yourself a hard skill with your two hands, which you can make something that you can sell to people. Whether it be a service, like my father taught me masonry, stucco masonry, so I could always go back to that. If times ever get hard, if let's just say YouTube disappear, if all my income disappear, my investment, everything disappears, I got nothing. For me, it wouldn't be difficult to go back to masonry. I just go back to the United States. I'll go back to doing my European style masonry, high-end shit. And I would outcompete everybody because I'm doing the work with my own two hands. My overhead would be much smaller than a big company. and I could do some high quality shit, and that's my way out. So I know how to do stuff with my own two hands. But a lot of people don't have any of these skills. They were never taught anything except, hey, you go to college, and unfortunately, what they teach you in college is getting replaced by AI. So by the time you graduate, there's nothing really for you to do. So a lot of young people are faced with this dilemma right now. They're seeing like, hey, dude, I don't know what to do with my life. I go to school, kind of learning a bullshit topic. They tell me this is good degree to get because this is probably one of the few safe jobs that are left. It doesn't really resonate with my soul. I don't really have an idea of what I want to do when I'm grown up. It's hard to date. I'm already broke, and life's getting harder by the minute. So you're just kind of going through these motions, you would say. And then you find yourself 27, 30, 35. The anxiety builds like, oh, fuck, what do I do? You're gaming with the boys. Everybody's got a low state of anxiety playing Call of Duty. We're all chilling, letting some steam off, bitching about our shitty lives and our jobs. And, hey, bro, what's the next move? Your boss hiring. You got an extra position about, yeah, I just put in extra overtime here, blah, blah. And it's just like, you start to go gray. Clock ticks. Father time doesn't stop for nobody. And then you find out one day, dude, you're just like, wow, like, what has this all been for? I clock in, I clock out, go to bed, wake up, clock in, clock out, go to bed, wake up. I get 2 days to really enjoy myself. Can't really enjoy those 2 days. You used to be able to go out, party, meet some cool people. If you're lucky, hook up with a girl. If not, whatever. That's all gone now. We live in a weird society. People are so antisocial today. That's not even a thing anymore. You can't even enjoy yourself over the weekend. It's too fucking expensive. The clubs cover charge are garbage. The music is garbage. The people are garbage. The women are garbage. Dating is garbage. What the fuck do? You make garbage money. Garbage jobs are available, and shit, life feels like garbage, dude. That's it. And then they're wondering, hey, why are men checking out? Why do men feel like doing anything? Why do men feel like I'm 27 years old, broke, and I'm a fucking loser? Like, I don't got shit going for me. This is why. Yeah. If you haven't, boys, hit the like button. I think that helps push the stream. I have no idea. I know if you don't hit the like button and comment on normal videos, I always forget on normal videos to tell you guys, please hit the like button and subscribe like some fucking goober and shit. I don't want to sound like these fucking YouTubers, but apparently if you don't hit the like button and subscribe, nothing happens. They suppress the shit out of your video. The algorithm's too stupid. Yeah, chat engagement helps. I don't even know. Yeah, chat away. Just spam the fucking chat. Jesus.
I want to try to make it on my own and be able to work from my computer or laptop, whatever
engagement for me.
So that's just my situation. I understand that not everybody is like that, and that's okay too. If you want to go to traditional path, go to traditional path. But there's struggles either way, right? And that's really the point of this video, is to acknowledge that you can go to traditional path. I have 3 friends that have gone traditional paths. 2 of them are still in the same exact situation that I'm in. They're in the same situation. They're still living at home, right? And they're on trajectories to eventually move out, but it's going to take time. It's not easy, right? And here I'm the crazy one working online, trying to make money online, but I'm in the same exact situation that they are. And granted, one of them moved out. One, fine, okay, but really,
damn, somebody said, I'm supplementing with about half a gallon of milk a day at minimum because the price of food is so high everywhere. Fuck. That's rough, G.
Another point here is that stop setting a time limit on yourself. Again, I understand that not everybody is in a great situation. Some people, their parents are not going to give them that kind of leeway, and they're going to be on their ass to get out, and that's going to make you go and do stuff that you don't want to do. But if you are in a position where your parents aren't putting that pressure on you, don't put that pressure on yourself. Right? Figure out what it is that you really want to do. Understand the possibilities, the drawbacks, what can really happen here, how long things can take. Like, I mean, I'll be transparent about the YouTube stuff. Like, this is something that, the reason that I'm getting into the day trading more is because income-wise, YouTube is very unforgiving early on. I'm now about it. Actually, I'm 6 months in. I started March 1st, and I'm recording this September 6th. So I'm over 6 months into my YouTube journey. And one, in the beginning, you're not making anything because you're not monetized right away. You have to get monetized. So, there was, I got monetized in early June. So 3 months, I made nothing. And then I made, I think the first one was like a little under $200 for a month. Then a little under 400, and now I just broke 400 for a month. Like I'm getting a check for like $425 for a month of work, which in the U.S., I'm not trying to sound like an asshole, like I'm not appreciative, because again, I wasn't making anything 6 months ago, and now I'm making $400, which is cool. Like that's awesome. I'm very grateful for that. But to live off of that, I mean, you can't live on minimum wage on average. In some places, you're making $600 $600 a week, right? I mean, in the U.S., right? So 400 for a month. I mean, that's not really gonna be enough to provide. That's not gonna be enough to pay bills. If you want to move out, like it's not realistic. So if you're someone that in your mind, I'm just gonna do YouTube, temper your expectations, because it takes a very long time for it to turn into something that is wildly profitable and profitable.
Actually, it doesn't. I've done it. I've showed the private community how to do this, faceless channels. I don't want to give mine away, but I'll read the statistics off screen real quick. 1 second. Let me see what the numbers are. Let me take my glasses off, because internet autists will find out everything. So, okay. I have a channel here that I started literally, and in 30 days got it monetized with, AI voices from 11 Labs. I teach people how to do this exactly, by the way, and I'll tell you what it made. It already made $1,800 in this last 30 days. My last month was much better. I think it did $7,000. Yeah, $7,000. I had a couple of videos. One of them got close to 1 million views, something like that. I started the channel something around June, or I think around June-ish, July. It's produced already over $9,000 and consistently producing more and more, and it'll grow. And I did this essentially with 11 Labs. You could do this with like ChatGPT or Claude or whatever you want. And I go through the entire process in the private community. It's not hard, actually. I teach people how to find the videos, right? How to script the video, how to edit the video. Exactly. Like how to look for niches. I spent like hours creating a guide for people on how to reproduce this as well. So look, I'll screenshot this right here just so you can see. This says for the last 90 days, but barely got monetized. A month in, and I don't even consistently post videos. I should. But if I was able to do one video a day, definitely this channel could do like $10,000 to $20,000 monthly. No problem. So let me get this screenshot. And where is this shit at? Okay. Okay. There you go. So I'll put this up on the screen and make it bigger. You see? Right here. So that's proof. So there you go. That's what it looks like. That's in the last 90 days, right? It shows you right here. $9,000. No, it penalized AI channels.
How do we join your class?
I have, it's a guide on the private community. Let me post the link to the private community, actually, right here, Legion of Men. We just did a private community call, but when you look in the classroom here, I have some basic stuff. Look, the YouTube masterclass, and this is where people learn how to do this. Look, the niche research is what I have. I'm not trying to fucking plug my own shit, but how to find a proper video, all that stuff.
Welcome, guys. This will be the first video in a series of.
So that's day one, niche research. That's 20 minutes for you. This is 36 minutes.
The second or the a month ago, all with the
right. Day 3 is the voice generation editing. That's a 51-minute video. And then I have a short one here that's A to Z on YouTube that just shows you for free on YouTube for the guys. But this is, if you look in the description of every video, it has the link on how to join these. We have a free community too, by the way. If you haven't joined the free community, at least, but on the private one is where I have those videos for you guys if you were interested in them. And yeah, there you go. Right there, dude. So when I had time and I was posting videos constantly and shit was going out like every couple of days, it made $7,000. So it slowed down a lot because I've been busy. I've been prepping for the streams and all that stuff. But this is how you could join. Let me get the link for you guys just directly if you wanted to join the private community. Here you go. So it's in the chat for you guys. Let's go back to this though.
Enough to live off of. So I'm saying this to tell anybody that's having this
it is
thought in their
doable,
mind, especially when you're young, right? When you're young and you're like you're 18, 19 and you're hungry, right? I mean, that's an energy that I've had over the years. I'm just going to go and do this and make a lot of money. And it takes time. Granted, some people break through much. There's always exceptions to any rule in life, to any circumstance. Like some people just break through and they're making a shit ton right away. But the reality is, for most people on YouTube, yeah, it's kind of slow and steady growth. It takes time. Right. So that's why for me personally right now, my situation, I decided to get into day trading because that's something that I know from my own experience and my limited experience doing it and the struggles I've had, the successes that I've had, that you can make a decent amount of money trading. It takes time. It takes effort. It's not easy.
Yeah, it does.
But that's why I'm putting in a lot more time into that, because to me, like that's my equivalent of a 9 to 5. Right. And I'm
still, of all the jobs I've ever done, the coolest one by far. I mean, YouTube's cool. I love talking to people. This is cool. I would love one day to do something where I used to do this before with the Discord community, but I like to interview people. I like to have conversations. If I had people that were good at conversations, thank you, brother. Somebody just signed up. Leo. If I had somebody that I could do like group calls with consistently on topics and bounce ideas back and forth and do kind of like a discussion, that would be badass. It's just hard to find people. You would only have to do this with pretty much other YouTubers. I loved, someone else just signed up. Appreciate you, Bryson. But what I like is back and forth conversations, just like when I had the podcast with the boys or when I was doing Tribe Report with Sophie. That was tight because it's easy to go back and forth. And when I had the giant Discord community of like 10,000 plus people, I would have the mods pull people to interview, and I was doing interviews. If you guys remember, way back in the day, I was doing interviews with people, but it's so hard to get somebody that's like not awkward on camera, can actually speak, has a good mic, good like on camera personality. The only way you can do this is again with other YouTubers that are already like kind of well versed on it. It's hard. It's hard, but I prefer it. Maybe one day if the public community grows big enough and people are good. Yeah, a lot of people do lack charisma, unfortunately. Maybe I'll do some calls with people once a while on that public community on school. And the ones that show some promise, I'll bring you on. Maybe we'll do that. That'll be like an incentive for people to join. Maybe I'll do a call once every couple of weeks on there. And for those that are like actually really good on camera, good, clear English, good personality on video, yeah. Why not bring you a part of like discussions? Let's discuss like, you know, going your own way. Let's discuss how hard dating us. Let's discuss like what the issues and what you're going through. I already do that a little bit with people in the private community when I host the calls. And it's really tight. I love talking to dudes. We just had another conversation before I got on the stream, dude. I was on there for like an hour and a half. And we were talking about whatever it is that we were talking about, a bunch of stuff.
I told you guys I'm up at 6:45 and I'm glued to the market till.
Oh yeah, but what I was saying, day trading. Day trading, of all the jobs I've ever had, day trading was the coolest job. I think the coolest. If it wasn't for the amount of dedication and research and time that you need to spend on the markets to kind of have an edge and be informed enough to make the highest probability like successful trade. If it wasn't for that, that's all I would do. Bro, day trading is the coolest shit ever. I swear, when you really have time to dedicate to that shit, there's nothing Nothing more badass. And I've managed to do it successfully than literally just chilling there, just like this, bro. Just like this. Just chilling, just like this, and just checking trades and on the phone, and just like got 3 big ass screens, all with a bunch of data and stuff. Oh, you know, it's me on the beach with my missus. And it's nice when you get a trade $5,000, $6,000, $8,000 profit, $4,000 loss, $2,000 loss. No biggie. As long as you're making money on, like, you know, you let your winners run and then you cut your losers short, you will make money. So I was pulling down, dude, so fucking cool. She's like, oh my God, this is somebody's salary. And literally I opened this trade 2 hours ago and I'm $6,000, $7,000 in profit. Done. Amazing. That was the best. Stressful, but also the most fun.
4 o'clock at least, if not later. Right, so I'm putting in that amount of time.
I got started day trading by literally YouTube University. I was teaching myself everything from A to Z, like how to read a stock chart, what are candles, trading styles, everything. If you're interested, that's how you get started. You have to self-teach.
And in the beginning, when you have a small account.
And on the private community, I thought about teaching guys how to use AI power trading tools. Like I was using the AI to analyze the market and help me make better informed trades. It was working, actually. We were deep in profit when we were trading crypto and stuff.
Which I do. I don't have, you know, thousands of dollars in an account. I started with $5.
I love swing trading.
And it's going to take time. It's going to take effort. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to have successes. It's sometimes the market's just not good. Sometimes there aren't opportunities. And it's just kind of, you're not guaranteed that income on any day. Some days you might lose. I've had red days. I've had days that I've struggled. Sometimes I have green days. It's up and down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reality of anything online, right? Anything on the internet is just, there's no guaranteed income. But when it's good, it can be great. And that's at least been my experience. Right. But that's why at this point, at this stage, you guys believe I'm on the freaking highway riding a bicycle, by the way. I just realized I'm so used to riding around a highway that I don't even realize like what I'm on right now. I just felt like getting on the highway on a bicycle. I don't care. I'm that guy. Okay. I'm that guy. But all this being said, I'm in this position now where, yeah, I'm struggling financially. I am. And I'm okay with sharing that because I don't feel that it's necessary to act like, you know, you have everything figured out, especially in an online environment where I feel like a lot of people would rather pretend sometimes. You know, they'd rather pretend like I don't have everything figured out. I don't fucking know. I'm trying. I'm very grateful that I have a support system that's giving me this chance to really hone in on making a living online. Because again,
yeah, what's crazy about day trading is when you start to get into leverage, that shit is so addicting and dangerous. You don't even need a lot of leverage. I used to trade on like 5x leverage, 3 to 5x, so I don't get wiped on a bad move. And then, you know, I did risk a little bit here and 20x some shit. I dicked around and did a real small position with 100x just to see what it was like. But for the most part, if you have some discipline, 3 to 5x is more than enough. And you don't need an account balance that's big. Like I said, I started myself on it's like around 19,000. And with a little bit of leverage, I built it up to 180 within 6 months. It's just that you never have full control. I degen between 30 and 50x. What a gangster, dude. Yeah. It's definitely doable, guys. So I go through those videos on the private community. Like I said, exactly how. Look, we'll go through. I'll just show you one of the videos just so you can see. Like voice generation, building the perfect script. Here's what it sounds like when it's finished. Welcome back, tribe. There. But if we run her voice through here, you'll notice the generation isn't exactly the same. So what I generate, we're generating this one with a Juniper.
The algorithm doesn't sleep, doesn't take sick days, and doesn't ask for raises. Between November 2000...
Don't like it. We'll go again.
The algorithm doesn't sleep, doesn't take sick days, and doesn't ask for raises.
A little better.
Between November 2024 and February 2025, it also didn't show mercy. Over 100,000 American workers discovered their jobs had...
What you're listening here for is... I said I walk you guys through how to make these faceless videos through all of this stuff. It
with
works.
Breathtaking enthusiasm. Meta's January 2020.
You hear how dead he sounds? Listen to the
The
beginning.
technology sector led the charge into its own obsolescence. The technology sector led the charge into its own obsolescence with breathtaking enthusiasm.
You see? And then I go through the entire process and just teach. And all you have to do is reproduce this. And it's all here for you. That's just one example. Anyways. We also have book club, by the way, if you want to join and see. We're talking about what Atomic Habits. There you go. Anywho, all right. So we got another crazy video. I don't want to watch another loser video, but okay. You got 500,000 views in 1 month, so okay, let's get into a little bit of drama.
OnlyFans.
I mean,
So this is an OnlyFans chick, apparently,
Would you categorize what you do on OnlyFans?
and a virgin.
my content isn't necessarily that extreme, but I definitely don't want brownie points from people who are eager to slut shame the women who do more extreme content. So when I go on platforms, I just call myself a digital prostitute because, I want the backlash for it. So
A digital prostitute.
an e-prostitute, yeah.
What does that mean?
Like an e-girl or an e-boy, I just call myself like an e-prostitute. Like it's online, it's not actually physical or in the real world or tangible, but it's virtual.
And do you actually have sex on your platform or not?
No, I'm actually a virgin.
Really?
Yeah.
And
Wow.
my name is Bob.
Oh, you don't believe it?
Absolutely not.
Oh, why would
I
you
haven't
lie?
seen this.
Well, I don't know what the connection is between, again, I mean, that's why I partly...
Are you being serious? Are you?
I'm being dead ass, and
Her
that's
name
partly
Bob.
why I do OnlyFans. Is because I'm trying to point out that like you could be a virgin in a way that isn't about purity culture or religion. You could be a virgin in a feminist way, which means you don't want to bite the bullet and
What?
just join hookup culture or just put out just because society tells you to. And I think it's really unfortunate that religious conservatism has a monopoly on abstinence culture because 45% of women regret their first time, 30% of women regret like a sexual experience in the last 12 months, right? So I'm very interested in carving out a space for secular women, non-religious women, feminist women to also know that they can hold on to their chastity if they want to in a way that doesn't align with the toxic purity culture.
How old are you now?
I'm 26.
26.
Yeah.
So Esther, why would you not believe her when she says she's a virgin?
I don't know many virgins that strip off and call themselves e-prostitutes. I think it's quite rare.
It doesn't mean she's not.
I mean, it's definitely a unique perspective. Can I just ask why?
That is very interesting. Would you take a virgin OF thought or a chick with 5 bodies? 10 bodies. Okay. What do you do? Okay, 2 bodies. Okay, you got a chick, she's only got a couple bodies, but you're dealing with drama and bullshit. Or do you take a virgin OF chick? An e-girl. Wow. That's not one I ever thought possible.
So it's empowering to take your kit off, and I'm assuming, I don't know how extensive your
But what kind of thing do you do on
portfolio
your?
is,
I
but-
mean, sort of categorize it for those who've
I
never
mean,
seen
you just
it.
got to subscribe and see. I would say,
Absolutely not. That's a good marketing though. Subscribe and see, but
subscribe and see. I mean, I offer a girlfriend experience. You could come on and I'll pretend to be your girlfriend for a little while,
Oh,
pretend to
hell
not be
no.
repulsed by you. I offer slutty photos and videos, and
Oh,
I just don't know what
Jesus.
the connection is to virginity. There really is no
Well, I
connection.
guess if you're massively sexualizing yourself, there'll be a
Right.
presumption that you've had sex, and it's quite interesting to me that you say you've never had sex.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the whole point, right? That's what I'm saying is like people are unable to conceive of virginity outside of just wanting to appeal to the male gaze and being attractive to men. And I'm not a virgin because I think it'll make me more appealing in the dating market. I'm a virgin because most women regret their first time. They regret biting the bullet. Our dating pool is full of horrible men. And I think women should wait more so that they're not just going through that ringer of sexual regret.
She's advocating for virginity. What is happening? An OF chick is advocating for virginity. Am I hearing this correctly? What planet what is happening right now? You got OF chicks that are advocating women wait and be virgins. What the fuck, dude?
Esther,
I'm really speechless, Piers.
you are.
But I think I'm actually speechless. So you
She
don't.
doesn't have a response.
Well, no, it's not that I don't have a response. First of all, this ideology. I mean, look, it's your personal belief, and you can obviously do what you want with your
Wow.
body. I'm just confused what you find empowering about showing pictures of your anus on the internet. Can you
Right.
explain that?
I can. Well, first of all, I just want to point out that, like, it's really interesting to me that the first time the culture and men specifically are interested in talking about, like, the morality of sex work and how it's degrading to women and its effects on, like, the social fabric, and namely its effects on relationships, is conveniently once women like me started turning a 7-figure profit off of it, right? Up until the advent of OnlyFans, it was exclusively feminist. It was exclusively
But there's nothing
women.
feminist about what you do. You do realize
As
that.
I was saying, it was exclusively women. It was exclusively feminists who were the sole critics of Pornhub. It was exclusively women who would protest things like Playboy. Like Andrea Dworkin put out a book on porn saying men possessing women. And in response, Playboy churned out these cartoons depicting her fucking other women, basically calling her a dyke and a man-hating bitch, right? Anytime women protested pornography, men said that you are vilifying male sexuality, and men were so eager to make porn synonymous with male sexuality, right? And I just think it's interesting.
But that's exactly what you do. Like,
What?
your customer base are men. You sell the girlfriend experiences to other women.
I do have some lesbians on there, yeah.
Okay, but it's predominantly men, and I don't think there's absolutely nothing feminist about what you do. You've just cut out the middleman, but you're basically working in the patriarchy.
This is a crazy timeline. We live in a world where now Temu Mia Khalifa quote, new age feminists are arguing for commodifying themselves and selling pictures of their bodies online. How unbelievable. You know, we're living in the inverse. She's well spoken. She has all her talking points ready to go. She prepared.
Economy, and you're commodifying the female body. There's nothing empowering about that. I don't know what your definition of empowerment is, but empowerment is not momentary autonomy, which is basically what you do. I can do what I want. Every human being should be able to do what they want, because that's, by virtue of being a human being, you should have a freedom over your body. Empowerment is composed of 3 things. One, it's yes, exercising autonomy when you want. It's 2, being able to make those choices responsibly and to live with the consequences, which I don't think you actually can or really have contemplated
Hang on,
it.
I agree.
The third thing is making choices that don't limit opportunities that you have in the future. There's nothing empowering.
But it seems to her best to play devil's advocate. It seems like she ticks all those boxes, you would say, right? I mean, you know what you're doing. You're taking
I
responsibility
agree with what she's
for
saying.
it.
I'm not a choice feminist. I think choice feminism is intellectually lazy. I think the choices you make.
Breakdown. Okay.
What?
There's choice feminism now. That's an interesting intellectualization. Please continue.
No, I say I'm not a choice feminist. I thought you were saying you were against choice feminist. Like, you were just saying that, like, okay, me saying my body, my choice isn't morally interesting enough, that I need to have more than that.
I'm saying there's nothing feminist about what you do, because it has nothing to do with female empowerment. All you've done is cut out the middleman.
Why is it?
Isn't the whole point of feminist empowerment that actually a woman can do what she wants with her body?
No, I actually don't even agree with that.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not.
It's not.
Wow, I've been led up a garden path.
Here would be my question to you. Why is it not degrading to get naked for your husband if it's degrading to get naked for public men?
That's a very simple answer.
Is it because you...
Piers is loving this shit. It's just 2 women going at it on what feminism means in the modern world, and it's all a bunch of fucking word salad slop. This is great, dude. This is great. This is what happens. We gave them too much power, too many rights. This is it right here. This is it. Look what's happening. We should be worried about fucking borders, building up the economy, working on making our currency not debased and worthless. No, we're fighting around choice feminism, bro, and women arguing for selling butthole pictures online. Good job, guys. Good job. The progress that we have made as a society. This is incredible. This is the clown world. It's true. Look at what we're watching right here. Holy shit.
Assume your husband's more likely to respect you. Your husband is the man in your life most likely to beat, rape, and murder you. Your husband's the man
I don't have chicken sounds right now. I wish I had the chicken fucking soundboard.
in your life who 58% of the time is going to cheat on you. Your husband's the man in your life who 50% of marriages end in divorce, and women say that they felt disrespected, right? So why are you assuming that by sexualizing yourself for your husband, you're reserving a seat of respect from a man versus sexualizing yourself for the public domain?
Because you're not sexualizing yourself for your husband. You're engaging in intimacy in the context of a committed relationship that has
one in which he's 50% likely to cheat on you, 50% likely to end in divorce.
Everything comes with risk, but I'm sorry, treating your body like a bunch of orifices for hire is not more empowering. Women that are in committed relationships that are married are much less likely to be in poverty than women that are not. There are actually societal benefits of women being in committed relationships and also not commercialized.
True.
AppCD $10. I am on day 17 of my NoFap run since the 28th of September 2025. About to achieve my first 3-week milestone and hope to go the full month. THX for the inspiration BO.
Good shit, brother. That's a good exercise in self-control. I personally wouldn't recommend when you're doing, so for example, the Spartan challenge. I said every 2 weeks, clear the pipes out. You're ready to rock. It's more in self control. You don't have to physically go longer than that. But if you come from a past where you're extremely addicted to adult entertainment, or you use it as a cope, for sure. Bro, you're disgusting. Whoever just. What did I read from Grizzly?
Loneliness in men, which is basically what you're doing. A man paying you, a virgin, which I'm assuming is because you've never had a relationship, for the girlfriend experience is laughable. It is ridiculous. And
I don't believe in the male loneliness epidemic. Did you know that study found 89% of OnlyFans subscribers are married men? The male loneliness epidemic is absolute bullshit.
That's pathetic. But the point is,
let me ask.
I don't have a problem with what you do.
Time out. Let me just try to get my head around this. So I'm curious about the economics of this, because I'm told that, for instance, there's this woman, Sophie Rain, said to be OnlyFans' biggest earner, with estimates of up to $50 million a year coming from her business.
Jesus Christ.
How much are you making?
I don't share the specifics, but I've made over $1 million.
Over $1 million? Yeah. In what period of time?
In 2 years.
In 2 years. Mm-hmm. You did train to go to law school, right?
I was initially planning on going to law school, but I started doing TikTok full-time straight out of college, and then was doing social media, yeah.
What do your family make of what you're doing? Honestly.
Well, my father's dead, and my mom is tolerant of it, I think. She was more opposed to me even putting myself out there on TikTok when I was just doing, like, very casual skit content.
Hey. Well, my dad's dead. I don't think dad would have been very appreciative of what his daughter's doing.
And stuff, right? So to her, this is just another extension of that.
And
having someone say emotional damage makes sense. Think about that. What was your relationship with your father that you had to devalue yourself in this manner? Look, when you're raised by a strong father, ladies, listen to me. When you have a father figure present and he's strong and he's masculine, he's taking care of the household, what ends up happening is he develops a level of self-confidence inside of you as a young woman to value more than just your body. You are more than the sum of your beauty. Because he teaches you things. What a father figure is supposed to do is almost like turn you into a tomboy in a sense, like take you out fishing, take you out into nature, teach you about things that are beyond the girly stuff that mommy is going to teach you later, that you will come into learning later in your adult years at what makes a woman. But while you're young and you're not sexualized yet by the world and your peers, you're supposed to learn how to do these things that put you on an even playing field with the young boys. And you develop a level of confidence in your abilities to do those things with your father, right? That you can be confident in learning how to, I don't know, shoot a basketball, go fishing with dad, go ride a four-wheeler, all these little things, go for a hike, right? Learn about nature, things like this, random stuff like that. When you don't have that shit and you're in this society where, imagine growing up with a weak father, he has no presence and no boundaries. And then all you have is TikTok, all you have is Instagram, all you have is the slop that's shown to you right away when you create an account, which is highly sexualized. These chicks with huge ass titties and their fucking insane pictures on Instagram, which is pretty much softcore stuff. And then you got these girls that are telling you can make so much money doing OnlyFans and all this shit. And that's how you get these kinds of girls. That's how you get the mass amount of women that we have today. Forget princess treatment, which comes from broken fathers too, the little spoiled princesses. But you get these women that the only thing they value is what Instagram and TikTok and all this shit told them, which is their bodies, their looks, their beauty. So, yeah, if you are not present in your daughter's life, she could end up, and this is why they say when there's no father present, girls end on poles and boys end up in prison. There's a reason they say that.
Extended family? You have any siblings?
I do have siblings. I think they just find it cool. Not necessarily the OnlyFans specifically, but I think they think it's cool that I do social media and do stuff like this.
I'm interested in this whole feminist empowerment thing, because I assumed, falsely it appears, that meant the whole point of it was men shouldn't be telling a woman what to do with her body. She has power over what she does. She has power over her idea of femininity. She can do what she wants. If she wants to show off on her OnlyFans account to people prepared to pay to watch it, and it's all legal, Why do you care?
I don't care, but I think the idea of calling it empowerment and somehow feminist is completely ridiculous. And this is why definitions matter. This idea that having momentary autonomy over your body is somehow empowering. I'm sorry, gorillas do that. Like everyone, every living being should and does ideally have autonomy over their body. That's a pretty low bar.
You're not comparing it to the gorilla.
I'm not. I'm just saying every living thing objectively has some sort of autonomy over their.
Come on, man. Not all money is good money and not all things are moral. We should have a moral society, not depravity. Just because you can do it doesn't make it right. I don't want to sound like this is a weird boomer take, but adult entertainment porn, I think it should be banned. I don't think in a good society you can have this kind of depravity without morality falling, at its seams, becoming completely unraveled. And then you have a society that's basically eating itself. I grew up, when I got my laptop and I was like 13, 14 years old, the first thing I did is I went on fucking porn sites, dude. That shit absolutely destroyed my brain. I saw videos that my fucking brain was not prepared for, and I was like, holy shit, addicted. Now I'm jerking it every night, like everybody else, every other teenage boy. And I got in late. I can only imagine what it's like for dudes, young guys that are fucking 7, 8 year, like boys now have smartphones because their parents are like, dude, we need to know where you are and what you're doing. And so these kids are fucking 7, 8 years old watching all these crazy videos. Oh my Lord, dude. What do you think that does to a developing person's brain? Right? That's crazy. Yeah. So then I watched that shit and it completely fucked me up for a while. I never got an addiction to it, but definitely I can see easily how a guy can develop addiction to it or a dependency to it. I got lucky because I got attention from women, and I worked really hard on myself because I wanted attention from women, and I thought getting women made you more of a man. So then I got exposed to going out to nightclubs, and I had mentors that were good at getting women. And so I got red pilled in that fashion, and I didn't need it because I was getting it. But if I didn't get it, I know why I would need it and have to watch it. So I get why this shit is a weapon. It really is. It's the craziest, easiest way. That's why it's free, because it's mind control. It really is. It completely destroys your masculinity watching another dude. And essentially you're spilling your hard-earned biological energy on nothing. It zaps you of your ability to take risks. It zaps you of your propensity to fucking survive, what could you say, obstacles in your mission in life and not give up early. It's garbage. It's fucking garbage, dude. Yeah. I wish I didn't watch it when I was growing up. I hope that I can, for my future sons and daughters, get them into a place in a mental state that if they ever do become, when they do become exposed to it, they know how bad it is for them and turn it off. They can resist.
Their own body. We're talking about empowerment, which is what feminism was supposed to be. Feminism was supposed to be about autonomy, obviously, and having choice over your body. It was supposed to be about allowing women to make choices that give them the dignity and independence to pursue their own lives as they see fit. And also in pursuit of that, with the responsibility of making the choices that you're making, knowing that those choices will actually give you more opportunities in the future. None of what you do qualifies for that other than the momentary autonomy. Your options are not going to expand because there are pictures of your bumhole on the internet, right? It's going to be a lot harder if you want to be a politician, for example, or a CEO or a lawyer.
What if she doesn't want to be?
That's fine. By the way, that's fine. But part of empowerment is also being able to make those choices responsibly and live with them.
Are you in a relationship?
Hold
on. Yes.
Oh,
with a man, or?
Yeah.
How long has that been going on?
It's pretty new.
And what does he feel about what you do?
He's supportive.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, he's actually been on this show.
Really?
Yeah.
Hang on, who is it?
You know Dr. Jack Symes?
Yes. When did I interview him?
About...
Does he know that he's being...
No, hang on, I'm trying to remember who he was.
No, he doesn't know I'm on OnlyFans.
No, does he know that his relationship...
Wait a minute, I need to get the moment. So what was he on for, on Uncensored?
With Natalie Winters talking about like the Quran and sexual violence or something.
Yes, I remember this, yes. Yeah. So did you meet him through this show? Get the moment.
What's his name?
What was he on for?
I'm on OnlyFans.
No.
About...
What the fuck's his name? Did you guys hear the name? Who is it?
You know Dr. Jack Symes?
Dr. Jack Symes? Let me look this up real quick. Who the fuck is this simp? Dr. Jack Symes. How you spell that shit? Piers Morgan. Dr. Simp. Does the Quran condemn the grooming gangs? Here we go. What am I watching? Jesus Christ. Here we go.
His words. No.
Oh no, is this the guy?
Calling him names. He won't back down because you're calling him names. He will not be.
All right, bro. Piers Morgan, Dr. What was this fucking dude's name again? Jack Symes. Uh-huh.
I think if you want to have the uncomfortable conversation about Islam, it is sort of conducive to pedophilia.
Both of my PhD.
This guy? Oh no.
Philosophy of religion. And I think I'm slightly more qualified to speak about the Quran.
Of course, the white guy. Of course,
you
bro.
are, to suggest even for a moment non-consensual sexual contact.
Of course, I am disappointed. This guy. Okay.
I think if you want to have...
Of course.
Part of empowerment is also being able to make those choices responsibly and live with them.
Are you in a relationship?
Hold on.
Another like philosophy event we were at.
But he knows what you do.
Of course.
And he's fine with that.
Yeah.
She loves that shit. She's reveling in it. Do you see? Do you see, dude? This is power for them. She knows what she's doing is wrong. She knows that no decent man would accept her. The fact that she was able to get that dude, look at that. Like, do you see how she switched up right away?
But he knows what you do.
Look.
Of course.
And he's fine with that.
Ah, dude, they love the humiliation. That's what it is. It's a humiliation ritual. Yeah, name dropped his ass. You think he wanted... Bro, what? You think he wanted that shit known? I don't think so. He's going to get a lot of shit for that. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Like, that dude's going to get on his next show or whatever the fuck, and then the chat is going to explode. You're dating a fucking OF person.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You seem a little bit like unsure.
Well, it's not like it's gonna be like ecstatic, jumping for joy about it. But
really, but you're empowered.
He's not. Yeah, like he's supportive for sure.
Would he rather you give it up?
I don't know. We haven't talked about it yet. It's a pretty new relationship.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a relationship. He's just pumping then. So is this where those chicks do like, yeah, we're talking, we're in a relationship. The guy's actually talking to another woman. Like he's got multiple chicks. I don't know.
If I were to just show...
Anyway.
So anyways, why is it degrading for me to just have vanilla? If I
were... Did she just switch up topics really quick? Or is this a continuation of what
just show myself just naked, nothing degrading. I'm not getting shat on. I'm not getting pissed on. I'm not doing
Why is that even
online.
degrading? But why do you assume that even just being in a state of undress, there's nothing degrading about it for random people that don't know you?
Why is it not degrading to do it for your husband?
Wait a minute. Now, I'm going to call you up on this.
Okay.
Because you, on your Instagram, do often post videos of yourself. Pole dancing. And you're very good at it.
I don't have sound effects for this, bro. Come on with this shit. She's pole dancing. Are you shitting me? This chick here, he just called her out. Piers is... Piers, are you gooning into her fucking pole dance? You're quite good at pole dancing. What the fuck, bro? Are you self-snitching right now? What is happening? You're quite good at it. I would know. I watch you late at night when my wife's in bed asleep. We got a pole dancer on Instagram fighting with a fucking OF virgin. This is Jerry Springer level shit right now. I can't believe this.
But you're often quite scantily clad.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Well, I need skin contact. First of all, I will tell you why.
I have a photo.
I need skin contact with the pole to actually grip the pole to do what I do. Like, that's just...
You fucking... I thought this chick was like some professional, like conservative woman. I got bamboozled. What?
The nature of the sport. And I certainly don't
can't.
do it for the male gaze, and no one pays me for it. It's just a form of cardio and sport. But what
Really?
Yeah, it is. I don't really...
The hypocrisy of women knows no bounds. Hey, I don't pole dance for men, okay? I do it for sport. Pole dancing is a sport, and it's cardio. So is jumping on a dick. This is unreal. What the fuck, Piers? How did he put this segment together?
When
Wow.
you do it for cardio?
Yeah, I only do it for cardio.
Really?
I promise, yeah. But
a British philosopher once said, "You can't spread your bum hole on a Saturday and then expect to be treated as a professional on a Monday." And this is my clearly great
no.
Why post it? Why post it? Why not just do it privately?
because I
Look
want
at this. I've never even been upside down on camera.
I'm sure you've done
What do
other
you think
things
of
on
that?
camera.
Well, I do think it's
But you can subscribe and
Why
find
is this?
out.
Why is this okay? Why did she have to post it? Why did she have to post this?
Because I was in a pole club
Oh.
and I did a move that I've been
Oh,
practicing.
this is worse. You did it for free.
Also, I should get
I'm
paid.
retiring my parents.
I should get paid.
No way.
Here's the thing.
But why did you post this?
Here's the thing.
Were you teaching people?
because I wanted to. I've actually taught as well.
Oh,
before.
but I thought it has to be empowering. You can't just be your body, your
I'm sorry.
choice.
I'm not the one sitting on the internet, spreading my legs open, and telling
Yes, you
people to pay
are.
me
Yes,
for
you-
it.
yes,
Hold on,
that's
telling people to
worse.
pay me for it, and then saying that's somehow empowering to women. If you knew anything about pole dance,
so you're
but do
posting
you know
this and
how?
saying,
Do you
I'm
know
not saying this is empowering. I'm degrading myself, but I'm posting anyway. Is that what you're saying?
how is that degrading myself?
Well, she is a very highly skilled pole dancer.
Oh.
Well, it is a.
I was going to ask what can you do, but I'm sure you have to subscribe to find out. But the point I was making is, you do realize there are gradations between domestic abuse and online prostitution. Do you recognize that?
Wait, explain. What do you mean?
Well, you keep saying that what is the difference between getting naked from my husband, who's 50% more likely to beat me up and 50% more likely
He's
to rape
the
me?
man in
and
your
all that?
life most likely to kill you. So I'm asking you,
Yeah,
why
but
is
that's-
it?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, neither can really argue an effective point at this point, especially the one pole dancing on Instagram. Can you imagine if you're the husband, if she's married and your woman is posting pole dancing photos or videos on Instagram? This is a clown panel. This is worse than a clown panel. This shit's unreal, dude.
That's domestic
degrading.
violence, and actually, what you cited as murder. And what? So you
No,
do
not just that.
Do you
Cheating on
recognize-
you is a form of disrespect.
All right, so now the new game is this. You got a woman with, who knows the body count, let's say 10 or more. She's your wife, but she pole dances on Instagram, posts the videos because it's cardio. I do it for me. Okay, that's one. Or two, you get the OF chick that's actually a virgin. We're going to assume that's true. What do you pick? So one gets naked on Instagram for free, practically, almost naked. It's a sad rather gay herself. Dude, this is one of those. This is a tough one. This is tough. At least one's bringing in $500,000 a year. This is how you got to think. So one gets $500,000 a year, but her butthole is available for all to see. The other one gets no money a year, but her butthole is almost available for all to see. There's not much there. But they're both practically naked. One is actually naked. One is practically naked online. One's a virgin. The other one's got 10 bodies. What do you pick? What do you pick? Do you get the one that could be your sugar mama and live the life of your dreams, and you're the only one that has her physically? Or do you get the one whose butthole is not in full view, but doesn't make $500,000 and has smashed like 10, 20, 30 dudes, maybe more? Wow. No, you have to pick. You can't say, I pick neither. Oh, man. Yeah, at this point, this is where you walk away. This is where men say the winning move is just to not play at all. This is what you have to look forward to in the dating market. They're wondering why men don't have like any motivation to do anything at all. Well, look at what the fuck the pickings are. Bro, hoflation is out of control. I wish I still had my mug. This is perfect. Hoflation mug. I got to put it up. I don't have it with me physically. Get the hoflation mug. Is there other ones? Okay, no. This is the only one we got. We got the hoflation mug right here, or the shirt. Please. Get your hoflation mug. I need to order one and get it shipped to Croatia. This is crazy. I didn't even know this episode was going to be this insane.
The fact that most marriages ended divorce with women filing for divorce because they felt disrespected either because of adultery, because of emotional abuse, physical abuse. They felt like their husband wasn't listening to them. I'm not saying they should sell themselves. I'm saying I don't subscribe to the delineation that by sexualizing yourself just for your husband rather than for the public eye, that you are somehow doing it for someone who respects you more and loves you.
How do you feel about the likes of Bonnie Blue and these others who are, I'm gonna have sex with 1,000 men in 24 hours and stuff?
I mean, I see her kind of as more of like a performance artist. I feel like it's funny that people see
Bro, you can't, dude. What?
As like a consequence of feminism, when in reality she's more of a consequence of the male gaze. When she says stuff like, anyone can fuck me, like a married man, 18-year-old boy, a father-son duo, people are like, this is the ultimate logical consequence of feminism. And I'm like, no, it's not. She's literally holding up a mirror to the popular porn categories, which have reigned at the top of the hub for the past 2 decades, right? So I think it's ridiculous that people associate that with feminism.
Do you think there's a lot of hypocrisy around the criticism?
Are you not a consequence
I think it's ridiculous that they see her as, again, the logical consequence of feminism when she's basically just the purest form of the porn industry, which feminists were protesting for decades. And suddenly now other people want to protest only because of OnlyFans.
If you got married and had a daughter, would you want her doing this?
I would be opposed to her making that type of decision until she was at least 23, 25. I'd be opposed to her even posting what Esther posts until she's 23, 25. I'd be opposed to her having her sexual debut.
But OnlyFans allows women to do it.
I'm 30. I'm not a child.
I didn't say you were. He was saying what I want my daughter to do. I wouldn't even want my daughter to be having sex until she's 23, 25, because when you look at longitudinal studies of sexual regret, you're least likely to regret those types of things when your sexual debut, when you lose your virginity, is around 23.
You can be 18 on OnlyFans. That's the legal cutoff point to start doing.
Yeah, and I'm saying I would advise my daughter to wait until she's 23 to even post a bikini photo on Instagram, because the rates of sexual regret in general just completely plummet after the age of 23.
Do you know why sexual regret, though, is higher? It's not because of the age, it's because they're in the context of casual sex.
Yeah,
and the reason why,
because of sexual coercion. And you're actually most likely to be sexually coerced by a romantic partner rather than a casual partner. Women report being most likely to be reported into violent sexual acts by their boyfriend or husband.
Yeah, but she's just spouting off studies the research says, and it's, again, it's already compromised because the research is heavily politicized. Yeah, it's cognitive dissonance. I can find a bunch of research that proves why the 19th should be repealed. It doesn't matter. She can find a bunch of research that says she's empowered for doing fucking OF work. All that shit is irrelevant. Just look at the state of society, the metrics that you can't fake. No one's having kids. No one's getting married. More people are depressed. More women especially are more depressed. Men are actually reporting that they're happier, but I don't know how, deep that actually goes. So what you really have is a broken society that will eventually lead to population collapse, which means that is a sickness if a population cannot sustain itself. Congratulations, you're not winning. You don't have kids yet. Your daughter will most likely not have any kids at all. You don't even want your daughter to do what you're doing until she's well into her adult age of 25, which means that there is a psychological toll and consequences you can't walk back. So you want her to be old enough to be sure. Well, there's girls doing it at 18. Why aren't you fighting for those girls? You should be saying OF should be banned until you're 25, right? According to her. Because if you don't want your own daughter to do it by the time she's 25, because she needs to be mature enough to make that decision, then that means adult entertainment in general, all that shit should be banned. What in the world? There's a big ass bug in here. The door open the whole day.
And that's why pimps, for instance, are so eager to employ like the lover boy method, because they know nothing gets a woman saying yes faster to a sexual act than playing boyfriend or husband. So when you talk about sexual regret and sexual coercion, it's not more from casual sex. It's actually more likely to be caused by your boyfriend or husband.
Does it concern you that
it's actually under the influence? It's also because under the influence of drugs and alcohol, which is when a lot of sexual encounters.
Okay, but what do you think about that? The
and
fact
you're
that
actually
women are
citing
statistically
studies by the
that women
American
are more.
Psychological
What do you think of the
Association
fact
that you
women
don't really know?
No, genuinely address it. What do you think of the fact that women are most likely to be pressured into sexual acts by a boyfriend or
Oh my God, shut the fuck up, dude. You show your butthole $5. Jesus Christ. We're arguing semantics here. She's literally just trying to cope and use that as a steel man for why she does what she does. It's not a genuine argument. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyways. What else has been happening here? All right, let's go back to a man that's actually talking with some frame, a bit of logic and logical progression in the argument, no less. Let's see what's happening.
Okay.
Snooks.
I don't really know why I'm doing this. That's a lie. I know why I'm doing this. I'm doing this.
Okay. See, you see that? Did you see how a man corrected himself? Right? The bullshit detector does not allow him. You see how quick we started a video? We are 11 seconds in. The man said a lie. I don't know why I'm doing this. Male brain. Never mind. I know exactly why I'm making this video. A woman could never have accountability.
Because I feel helpless.
Okay.
And
beat him up.
There's a kind of power in talking about problems.
All right.
And I'm also kind of narcissistic, so I want to share it with all of you.
Fuck, he's real. Do you hear that?
I recently made the decision to stop smoking in my live streams because I think it's immoral. A lot of the people watching
Oh my God. Oh my God. This is the perfect episode after the Piers one. The man has a duty, a responsibility. Do you hear this? I'm going to stop smoking on my live streams because it's immoral. A woman would never, bro, ever. Shit. I told you men are built different. You can't. This is why.
They're gaming live streams. A lot of people watching them are kids. So I think it's
wow. You see, he's thinking beyond himself. Women could never, dude. This man is on another level of morality. This is why universal suffrage was a fucking mistake.
Moral to smoke while you're doing that in front of those people. But I'm not going to push this out to my subs. So
what a gangster.
And I'm still smoking. And if I'm going to do something like this, there's just no way I can do it without smoking. So if you're a kid, let this be the first lesson. Don't smoke. I don't know what's going to happen to me 10 to 15 years from now.
Wow.
Statistically speaking, it's not looking good, but hopefully I quit very soon. It's on my list of things to do. But I apologize for doing this, but I'm weak and I need to do it if I'm going to do what I want to do here.
Fuck, bro. We're real. This guy is dope as fuck.
Probably smoke 10 of them before this is over.
Okay.
So I am a 35-year-old loser. And there's no getting around that fact. I spent all of my 20s and half of my 30s so far.
Wow.
Doing almost nothing productive. I smoked pot. I watched porn. I played video games. Smoked cigarettes, got drunk. And I never took the time to really invest in my future, my finances, skill sets, knowledge bases, all that. It's not that I have no knowledge or skills, but none of it's very marketable. It might be marketable for something like YouTube, but I'm old enough to know, and I'm old enough to the point where I don't have the luxury of time where I can bet on YouTube or content creation or whatever to pay off. I'm going to do it. No matter what I do, I'll make room for this in some capacity just because I just feel like I need some kind of like creative, comedic kind of outlet. So, but I recognize that it's not the kind of thing that you can bank on making a living off of. And even if
I want to just reiterate. Remember when we were watching the other guy? He was like 40 something in his car, and he's just being real. He's like struggling to afford bills and, feeding his family, and he was like fed up with life. I'm not saying everybody can do this kind of shit or anybody has like the balls to put their private life out there, but just look what happens when you fill a niche, a giant hole in society today of being authentic with people on camera and just connecting in that sense. He got 500,000 views in a month on just this video alone. Okay? This video alone, I don't know if he was monetized, but if he was monetized, assuming he was, this video alone, he probably made like $5,000. Raw as fuck. This is what people are desperately looking for. Videos like this of people just being raw as fuck. This is the desperate connection that people are searching for in the world today. Not empty platitudes, not bullshitting around, talking a bunch of fucking nonsense. This dude is being real, and everybody, the authenticity, you can relate to it. It's real. This is him. This isn't like we're not putting up some fucking facade.
Even if you get lucky, and maybe you're making good money for like a 5-year period, that can go away overnight.
I'd game
so
with him. Fuck it.
I'm not putting
We'd
all
have
my
interesting
eggs in this
conversation
basket only because it makes zero sense. If I was 20, 25, I could do it more with less risk.
I'd game with the bro and then fucking team kill him. I'd team kill him and stress him the fuck out so he just lights up more cigarettes. That's what it's like to game with the bros. Just piss him off and send him to the gulags. Shut the fuck up, bro. Go light one.
But I'm not.
Still low.
I'm not even 30. I'm 35. I just turned 35 2 months ago. 2 months ago to the day, actually. And that's the first lesson. Well, the second lesson after don't do this. That I want to teach, impart upon young people. Although I have a feeling if you found this video, you're probably not that young, but in the off chance that I do get a couple of youngsters here, and I know that the 40 and 50-year-olds are laughing at me because 35 is young, whatever. Compared to a 20-year-old, I'm old as fuck. And the first thing I want to impress upon you, if you're in your 20s, 25, even if you're like pre-30, and again, I don't want anyone who's over 30 to lose hope here, because I don't think it's over at 35 or even 45. But what happens as you age is your options shrink. Your options rapidly fall away. And what you might have done in your 20s, maybe you take a couple of years, maybe 5 years to explore different career path options. When you start to near 40, you have less time to spend researching that kind of stuff and developing an idea of what you would like to do for a living. So it's very important that you do that work as early as possible. If you're a teenager, that's great. 20s, whatever. Again, 30s even. Like, I'm not trying to say like, oh, I'm just going to roll over and die here. That is not the message I want to impart on anyone. For myself, I'm not going to do that. But also, if you are over 30, 40, don't give up. It's not. Trust me, the alternative is far worse than what you'll have to go through. Well, I shouldn't say trust me. I haven't done it yet. But you know what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to take the wind out of anybody's sails. I'm just trying to really what I'm trying to do is just assuage my own anxiety by talking about this. And maybe as a secondary goal, I can impart a little bit of advice.
Dude, I would fucking do a podcast with this dude. He's chill as fuck.
To people who maybe can benefit from it. The number one thing, don't smoke. The number one thing.
Don't smoke. Rips one. Don't smoke. A little anxiety in his brain. Fuck, dude, I gotta hit it. Oh, I hate myself. Keeps going. Motherfuckers, dude, are funny. This dude's real, though.
But yeah, a big piece of advice I would give to you is if you're in your 20s, those 20s go by real fast. And you want to get a handle on your future as early as possible, because every year that you don't is a year you'll never get back. And it's 1 year less you will have to play with later if you do eventually decide to get your shit together. So start early, because I can guarantee you, if you don't, you will regret it. I'm experiencing it firsthand. I guess I should probably just tell all here. I'm 35 years old, and I live at home with my mother.
Damn.
And we're actually living in my grandfather's house Not to besmirch my mother, but, you know, we both kind of fucked up with our money, although she's doing a lot better than I am. She worked for many years in a good career, so she has money a little bit. Decent Social Security. So she's okay, I think. I hope. But I've never left home.
Wow.
And I've never told anybody this. So if my friends see this, it's going to be embarrassing.
Too late. You're fucked. That's it. We're a month in. It's over for him. You know, when he logs into Call of Duty, they're fucking ragging his ass. He's like that. What's that meme where the dude's holding from that movie? He's like he's got cigarettes coming out of his ears, and he's got like 40 cigarettes that he's smoking on, and he's just smoking up like 50 cigarettes at once. Oh man.
I worked. I wasn't a total NEET. You know, back in the day in high school, I worked in Burger King. Looks like I'm going to be working there again real soon.
Shit.
After that, I worked retail a couple of years, delivered pizza a couple of years. Loved that job. Pay wasn't amazing, and with the I delivered with my own vehicle. If you're ever thinking about delivering anything, pizza, whatever, never do it with your own vehicle, because just take whatever you're making and take like 90% of it and just throw it in the trash, because all that's going to go to car repairs. They usually pay for your gas while you're driving, but even then, I don't think they paid for it fully, but they pay for most of it. But the amount of money that you
dead end work.
There's another piece of advice. If you're thinking about delivering pizza or whatever, always use a company.
Dude, I was a huge smoker too. I got into weed. Yeah. Never was into cigarettes, but I did get into weed. Actually, I was selling weed. So I got arrested for selling weed, actually. So, I mean, you can come back from anything. So I had basically infinite amounts of weed, and I would smoke a fucking gang of it. And yeah. So I was investing in the weed game, and that kept me afloat for a while too. But I stopped smoking weed because I actually did mushrooms one time when I went on I used to be a plug. I went legitimately though, actually. And I went on a hike, and dude, I had the most incredible experience with the boys hiking. I felt like I'd lived 30 lifetimes. And my entire outlook on life completely changed. I became I guess you could say I became a different person. And I gave up all the vices for a while after that first, I guess, mushroom trip that I had. I forgave myself for a lot of things that I was like harboring psychologically, like subconsciously. And I forgave my parents for a lot of shit too. And I was using weed as a cope. Obviously, the way people use marijuana isn't really even in a medicinal way. It was pretty much in a way to like cope with the fact of your crushing reality is just, you can't stand your mediocre life. So people smoke weed to help them cope with the day. So that's how I was using it too. I was smoking a grip, and I was, basically turning into a couch potato and shit like that. And then I did mushrooms. I tried LSD too. So I did mushrooms anyways, and I had an incredible experience, then did had more incredible experiences, healed psychologically a lot, came a long way. And, the mushrooms are the reason this channel even exists, to be honest. The only reason Tribe Report, Tribecast, all that stuff, YouTube was even an idea in my head was because of mushrooms. Swear to you, it wouldn't have started otherwise. Don't share the mushroom secrets, yeah. So I owe a lot to mushrooms. Quite a lot. I love them. Psychedelics are fucking great, dude. They made me more spiritual, actually. I considered myself a hardcore fucking nut job atheist. You know, like all those atheists are. Yeah, like vegans. Vegans are like try to fucking convert you. They're all militant in veganism. I was all militant, lost in atheism and shit like that. And then I did mushrooms and I found my way back to Jesus. Yeah. Became more of a believer again and more connected spiritually. Yeah, my life changed, guys. I'll be honest. I've told that story all the time.
Company car. Never take a job if you have to use your own car. I know that's probably most local places you'll have to use your own car. I'm telling you, it's a fucking scam. The amount of money you're going to spend on repairs, oil changes, and not even just repairs and oil changes. At a certain point, the repairs just become not worth it anymore, and you just have to get a new car. And that's going to cost all kinds of money and debt. And if you're delivering pizza with your own car, you're going to have to get a car real soon. You'll be lucky if that car lasts a year or 2, maybe 3. If it's low mileage when you start, not worth it. If you use a company car and you don't live in a sketchy area, I didn't really live in a sketchy area. I had a couple of close calls, but if you're not living in the ghetto or you're not working in the ghetto and you can use a company car, it's a pretty nice job, honestly. You can make okay money if it's busy, but good luck finding that. That's a crazy dream job. And even then, who wants to be a pizza delivery man until they're 50? I'm probably going to have to freaking do it at some point. So I delivered pizza. And then I went to work after that at the mortgage company that my mother worked at. She was a VP in the servicing department, and I went to work in the servicing department. I was a Nepo baby. And for 12 years, I worked at this mortgage company as a Nepo baby in what is basically an entry-level position. By the end of what I was doing, I had more responsibilities, and it was a little bit more complicated than an entry-level position, but not by much. I was only making like 21 and change an hour, which is not a lot, working barely 35 hours a week. And I got laid off last December. The company's been doing kind of rough, and it's the market is horrible right now, and they're not immune to it. And I think the company literally lost half of its employees over the last few years, and I didn't make it through the last round. And basically ever since then, for the last 9 months, I've been unemployed, working very inconsistently on this YouTube thing. And now the gravy train is ending. I'm running out of money. My mother can no longer support me. She's retired. So the reality of life and adulthood is finally starting to set in for the first time. And I have got to be honest, it is absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, dude has some brutal self-accountability. He's like, I had a service job, I was a Nepo baby. Bro, you can't say you're a Nepo baby for a fucking service job. You didn't inherit some fucking C-suite level position. You're not making 6 figs, bro. Calm down. You just had a normal job. You got hooked up. Chill. You didn't take an opportunity from nobody.
One piece of advice I could give is, unless you're smart enough and disciplined enough to treat it correctly and maybe only treat it as a stepping stone, do not take a nepotistic job. Again, I can't speak for everybody. Some, you got a family business, a family-owned business, and you're working for your parents, or that's fine, whatever. But if you get an in a company, especially if you get an in their department with a family member, especially if they're in a position of authority, I don't even know how they allow that kind of shit, but I wouldn't allow that in my company. But don't go for it, because I worked at this place for 12 years, basically my entire 20s and a little bit into my 30s. Most of my 20s and a little bit into my 30s. And I'm not going to totally blame the nepotism. I'm not trying to blame my mom here, but I can speak from experience, at least for me. Again, it might not apply to everybody, but for me, the nepotism thing, the whole time I was working there, it was this extremely toxic environment. I knew I didn't belong there. I mean, don't get me wrong. I could do the job. It's not a hard job, but I got there from someone else. And as a result, I never appreciated it. I always took it for granted. I was lazy. I was late every single day, sometimes showing up 45 minutes late. They were pretty chill about that kind of stuff. You get in 10 minutes late, it's not a big deal. But man, I pushed that shit every day, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. It was ridiculous. Sometimes an hour, ridiculous. I always worked the number of hours I needed to, although not diligently, but I would show up late constantly. And while they may not say it to your face, all of your coworkers are thinking it exactly what you're thinking. This fucking loser. And as a result, you can, even if you wanted to, which to be fair, I didn't, because I've been depressed and a pothead the whole time. Coomer. But even if I wanted to be friends with my coworkers,
Coomer.
I'd have to really, really work, because you're always in that scenario kind of looked down upon a little bit. Rightly so. I'm not blaming them. And I did myself no favors by not really applying myself and just coasting the whole time, which just made it worse. I was just confirming their prejudice and stereotype. I was just living up to it. I was just, that's who he is. That's what he is.
Jesus.
And I didn't care about the job. I didn't appreciate it. I could have worked my way up the ladder a little bit, gotten more responsibilities, applied myself. I'm a smart guy. I like to think I'm a relatively well-spoken guy. I could have navigated the corporate environment, hierarchy. I even had my supervisor who fired me and I think didn't like me by the end of it. She'd only been my supervisor for like a year, my manager for like a year before I got fired. At first, she liked me and she even spoke well of me to the owner of the company. She said I was smart and stuff. By the end of it, when she got to know me and got to work with me for a year and a half, by the end of it, I don't think she probably thought I was smart, but she knew that I had many other qualities that kind of crowded out the intelligence. Lack of discipline, laziness, depression, anxiety. I don't like to blame those things, but they don't help. They contribute to the problem. And it's ultimately your responsibility to deal with that. Like, as in a business, no one cares that you're depressed. That's your job. You're just there to make them money. They don't care about your personal problems. That's your responsibility. That's another piece of advice. Your problems are your problems. And an employer, they don't give a shit, and they shouldn't give a shit. It's not their responsibility. If they gave a shit about that, they wouldn't be making money. When you come to a workplace, when you come to a profession, a career, whatever, you're presenting yourself as an asset to a team to help that team make money. And anything that undermines your ability to be an asset to that team, it doesn't matter why. It doesn't matter if you have a sob story. It doesn't matter if you really can justify it and give a good explanation for why you are the way you are. It doesn't matter. Money talks, bullshit walks. You need to perform. And they're not there to be your friend. They're not there to be your counselor. They're not there to be your mommy or your daddy that you didn't have. They're there to make money, and you're there to help them make money. And they're going to pay you some of that money. I lost my train of thought. I don't even know what I was talking about now.
He's going to hit the sig.
Don't smoke pot. Another advice, don't smoke pot.
Hit that sig,
I haven't smoked in a little bit.
Is he going to hit it?
No.
Fuck, so, brain work.
I worked there for 12 years.
Fucking brain.
Myself, never got promoted. Got a few raises to keep up with inflation. Barely. Didn't probably. But I did not get promoted because they were out to get me. I didn't get promoted because I offered nothing worth promoting. And then because of that, this most recent round of layoffs, I'm sure most of the department that I worked in is probably still working there because they had their shit together. A couple of them, I know, there was like 2 or 3 people who got laid off around the same time I did. And it was already a lean department. There's probably only like 3 or 4 or 5 people left. But, I'm sure most of them, if not all, are still there because they're good workers. They're a value add to the company and they deserve it. But I didn't. So I got fired, laid off, downsized, whatever you want to call it, whatever way you want to church it up. I couldn't keep my job, but other people did. So call it fired if you want. And then...
He's not a victim, bro. He's the opposite of a victim. This man's real as fuck. He's just saying how I woke up. He's giving us the backstory of how he's a loser. Self-described loser.
About 6 months later, I turned 35 years old. And when I got fired, I had a small 401k, about $20,000, $25,000. And I cashed it out. I used it to pay off my car, which is one good, probably the only good financial decision I've ever made is to pay off my car. My car has less than 70,000 miles on it, and it's a Toyota, so that could probably last me a little while if I take care of it. Don't have a car payment anymore. I do, however, have credit card debt and a personal loan, totaling about less than $10,000 in debt. But last couple of months, and again, I am laying it all out here. This is embarrassing to say. The last couple of months, I have been missing payments. Still don't have a job. Why don't you have a job? Because I'm a fucking idiot. I have been looking. I just went to Cumberland Farms for an interview that I had scheduled, and they weren't even hiring.
Holy shit.
Isn't that great? You apply on Indeed. They automatically enroll you for an interview. You spend all this time filling out these forms. You schedule the interview, but you never actually dealt with a person. And I show up. Lady has no idea what I'm talking about. Apparently the computer systems, I'm assuming they simply just didn't take the time to toggle a setting to not automatically interview people. but either way, it's still on me because I knew in the back of my head, I haven't talked to a person yet. I feel like there's not a security to this interview because I haven't spoken to a human being yet. And maybe I should call them or something. And I never did.
Yeah, HR.
And then a few days later, I show up bright and early at 9 a.m.
And they're like, what the fuck are you doing here, dude? Who the fuck are you? We don't have a job opening. Thank you. We have siphoned all your data and go sell it to somebody for some real money.
Which for me is very difficult right now because my sleep schedule is so messed up. I'm basically up all night. And I show up there half asleep, but trying to look presentable and for Cumberland Farms.
Cumberland Farms. Does this dude live in Bakersfield? Has he ever said where he lived? Cumberland Farms. So it sounds so familiar. Is that Bakersfield area? Does anybody know? I swear he's in like the Baker. What's the other town next to Bakersfield? I have to look this up. He has to be, dude. He seems like a Bakersfield bro. I might have lived Fresno. He's in the Fresno area. Cumberland Farms. Hold on. Bakersfield or what? Kernville. Arvin. Delano. Reminds me of that area. He has to be a Cali bro.
No interview. No idea what I was talking about. And for a minute, I was really crestfallen. Part of me was relieved because I don't want to work at Cumberland Farms. And I went home to my mother. And I was just like, I don't know. I wouldn't say I was distraught when I got home. By the time I got home, I had kind of calmed down. I was like, whatever. And
it's a store on the
looking at my
East Coast
resume.
Yeah, Cumberland Farms is a place over out there in California where they're, the Central Valley. He's from Rhode Island. Okay.
And I applied to a couple of places that were kind of similar to what I used to do. Haven't gotten any calls back on those. I need to interview for like 100 a day. I understand I have to do that. But this is a skill set I do not have, and I have to rapidly learn. But I was looking at my Indeed resume, and I read it out loud. I'm not going to do that here, but I read it out loud, and I read it to my mom, and she listened, and we both kind of agreed. She, she told me, and I kind of agreed and felt good about that. It was a good description of my job, right? You put your job in the resume, the years that you were there, and then you have a little blurb explaining what you were doing.
Dude, I remember when I was making my resume and firing that shit off. Hundreds of companies bullshitting on the resume. One time I had my ex-girlfriend on there, and she was the manager of a place with her phone. Everybody does that shit, and she's the manager of the place. And are they going to call your references and check? You got to do what you can to get hired, bro. Resumes are fucking garbage. It's so bullshit to need a resume for a bullshit dead-end job. Just fucking speak to me, bro. Are you looking for people? Let me walk in, talk to me. Hey, you want to hire? You have a bullshit job with bullshit requirements. The fuck you need a resume for? Unbelievable.
That's kind of a way to both signal the kind of work you were doing, but also the kind of person you are through the way you present it, with writing and persuasive writing, marketing yourself a little bit without being clumsy about it. And we both agreed it was a good blurb, a good resume blurb, whatever you want to call it. It was intelligent, it was cogent, it was comprehensive. Although there's one duty I realized I forgot to add to it. I have to go and add, but it's comprehensive. It was clear, well written. It
Only
helped
for the AI to reject you.
Highlighted some softer skills I have that are useful, like image editing and writing. And I went.
Unfortunately, Cumberland Farms probably doesn't give a fuck about image editing. There's a fucking bug, bro. There's this giant bug. He's in here. It's like a stink bug or something.
Went from, because at this time I had really only been retail because I had spent so many years in this job doing the bare minimum and being a terrible employee, the worst kind of employee. I kind of wasn't even bothering to look for anything adjacent to what I was doing. I was just looking for retail because I know I can do. I was selling myself short. I wasn't giving myself enough credit for my intelligence and my experience. And again, very low level stuff, but it's better than Walmart, better than Burger King. And I'm not trying to look down on anyone who works there. I'm just saying in terms of the marketability of skills and experience, it's better than if I had just worked at Walmart the whole time. So after I discussed this with her, my mother, who I live with, I made the decision, well, maybe I shouldn't set my sights so low. right? Maybe I shouldn't just go to Cumberland Farms. I'm going to have to work retail or something in the short term because I need money. I need income. But at the same time, I've been applying to these more adjacent positions at companies, title companies, mortgage companies, banks, that kind of thing. And in doing this, I've my sights were set on something a little higher and more ambitious than retail, because I realized, like, retail, especially 35 years old, you think, oh, I'm just gonna do it for a year or two while I get my feet under me, and then you wake up at 50 years old and you're still working retail. It's really easy, especially if you make it work and you get enough jobs and you put enough hours together that you can pay your basic rent at a shitty apartment. And then because you're working so many hours and it's so soul crushing, the jobs that you're doing and the compensation you're getting, you have no energy left or ambition left, energy, happiness, good vibes left to get out of it, to go to school, to set your sights higher, to start a business, whatever it is. It just becomes kind of enough. And you're also so depleted at the end of it that the effort required to get out of it is just too much. And the older that you get, the less energy you have. So that it just compounds and compounds. So while I was in this headspace of recalibrating my abilities and capabilities, setting my sights a little higher than Walmart or Burger King, I'm not going to name the field, only because if I do get into this, I want as much as possible to keep my professional and my streaming life.
All right, dude, we're going to have to skip forward a little bit. This video is long.
Having a hard time finding work. So then I'm thinking about now at 35, just potentially getting into it, not really being done with my schooling until like 39, 40 years old. It's going to take, if I want to get a bachelor's, it's going to take at least 4 years. And if I'm doing that while I'm working full time, am I going to get it done in 4 years? Maybe it takes me 5 or 6. But for a brief moment, when I had decided to do this thing, a lot of the anxiety went away because I had direction that I was going to do something.
That's real.
But now I'm back to kind of feeling crestfallen. I didn't think about this initially. I didn't think about this until tonight, actually. And this kind of is one of the reasons I'm doing this. I want to be a content creator. I want to be a streamer. I want to play video games. I want to crack jokes. I want to do stuff like this, talk and just chill and meet people, talk to people. I want to do that. I know it's hard to do that as a full-time job. And like I said earlier, like even if you manage to get lucky and turn it into a full-time job, you never know, which way the winds are blowing in terms of your audience. You could be really relevant and successful for a year, 2, 3, 5 years, and then no one cares anymore. You're too old. You get lazy, whatever. Just the niche that you're in just is.
All right, dude, listen. 50 minutes, I tried. Snooks. Links will be in the description when you watch this. The Elder Scrolls map really sets the mood. Talking to the camera for an hour without cuts, that's some talent. This is YouTube at its best. Someone being real and connecting with the audience. Yep, there you go. I'm actually curious, how well is this channel doing? Let's see. He has amassed 1 million views. And does he stream? He does. Oblivion and Chill. There you go. Oh, he's doing well. Look at that. 13K views, 19K views, 21K views, 38K views. Oh, dude's doing it. He's making a living. There you go. Not bad. Not bad at all, Mr. Snooks. Still smoking, though. Is he still smoking? Never goon. Okay. There you go. If you want more on
to a full-time job,
on the homie there. Okay. Oh man, these topics are a bit deep. Do I want to get into these this late?
Marjorie Taylor Greene is on a tear. And when I say a tear, I mean she's telling the truth. and she doesn't care if it hurts her own party. You want to hear some of this? Listen to this.
And I'm so disgusted with Washington, D.C. I hate politics. The two-party system is extremely broken. It is failing all of us. And when I look at, here goes another $100 billion to Ukraine or $30 billion to Israel.
I like Jimmy Dore, dude. He was so... When we had Tribe Report, listen to this. When we had Tribe Report, we tried really hard. There was 2 episodes. I'll never forget this. I think we had something like maybe 30,000 subscribers. We were barely coming up and blowing up. The channel was blowing up. And we looked on Social Blade, which is a website that compares, like analytics for YouTube and stuff like that. You could see how your channel compares views, subscribers gained, all that stuff. And Jimmy Dore was one of the channels that we loved to watch. And with 36,000 views, we were averaging more views a month than Jimmy Dore was when he had 1 million views. Or sorry, 1 million subscribers. Dude, we were exploding. And I don't know how many people were there earlier in the beginning, but we were covering some videos on like politics. And people don't know we got our start with politics. And the 2 videos that we covered, I remember one of them was talking about, it was AOC when she was wearing that dress to the Met Gala that said, "Eat the Rich." And her dress was worth something like tens of thousands of dollars. And a Met Gala invite was, I don't know, like $10,000, if not more. And it was the hypocrisy of this fucking socialist Democrat talking about eat the rich, wearing a 10K plus dress to this rich gala that costs 10K plus for an entry, right? Absolute champagne socialist, complete hypocritical fucking thing going on there. So we covered that and we covered some other stuff. And anyway, I remember it took us all day to get this video ready. And then we went and recorded the video. We hit all our talking points and we felt really good. Obviously, the video didn't do well because fucking gooners wanted me to talk about dating and red pill shit and fucking dunking on women. So anyways, we covered that video. And then a day or 2 later, Jimmy Dore has a video that comes out in talking point for talking point, bro. He said the same exact shit. And I know I was being as objective as I possibly could, trying not to like stroke my own ego. But I saw his video and I saw our video and I was like, you know what? For real though, objectively speaking, not only did we come out with this earlier, but we hit even more in-depth talking points. And I feel like we covered the topic better with more breadth than Jimmy did at the time. And that's when I knew we had a fucking winner on our hands. I was like, holy shit, this channel's going to explode. Sure enough, it did. I think we made, when we got monetized, it was $15,000 in a month. So we were blowing up, guys. Unfortunately, flew too close to the sun. That was when censorship was absolutely oppressive because of the Biden administration. I think, the Biden administration, when LGBTQ and trans issues and, God, I don't know what else. Oh, the COVID thing. Yeah, so that was big. We ended up getting a strike on the channel, one for COVID. And I remember exactly what the video was about too. Didn't say anything about the jab, anything. Literally reported a story about the Pfizer CEO. I think you could still Google this. He was denied. What was he denied? He was denied the ability to leave the country to go traveling for vacation because he was not vaccinated. That was it. That was it. Super neutral. Hey, isn't it weird that the guy who manufactures the vaccines didn't get vaccinated, so he wasn't allowed to board the plane to travel? Got fucking striked for that. Then got striked again and shadow realmed for talking about trans or LGBTQ issues. Oppressive, bro. Oppressive doesn't begin to describe it. They literally destroyed the channel with those 2 strikes. We couldn't fucking even every single video we posted. Every single video was getting like 1,000 views, 2,000 views. After we had videos getting hundreds of thousands of views, 200,000, 300,000, that was it. We got fucking wrecked, dude. my trajectory in life would have been probably completely different. I think about that shit sometimes. I'm like, where would my life be now if that channel exploded? If that channel took off, that became like one of the mainstream talk shows, like Crystal and Sager, you know, Breaking Points, all that stuff. We could have done the same shit and it would have exploded. You know, like, where would we be right now? It was so interesting.
But yet nobody can afford health insurance premiums. And then I'm getting yelled at by my Republican colleagues for saying that out loud. I'm like, this is insane.
Whew, now you see why she's the craziest woman in Congress. Marjorie Taylor Greene, realizing that the right and the left are two wings of the same predatory raptor bird.
Oh, look, Snooks. He's in the chat. What's going on, brother? Hopefully you're doing good and not relapsing. That was you. Yeah. If I still had a gaming computer, I would fucking game with you and make your hair fall out and make you revive me, get carried, and you probably be smoking 10 packs a day. It's all good, though.
Isn't that amazing? And, you know, sending that money to Ukraine, it helps some of us, just not most of us. It helps the people, the bankers and the military industrial complex, the weapons manufacturers, stuff like that. It helps BlackRock, people like that. It just doesn't help most of us. Just like most things, the government matters. Just like BlackRock, Black Lives Matter.
BlackRock matters.
BlackRock Lives Matter. That's it. BlackRock.
You get it.
You get it. Here she is, Holden Collada tweets out, representative just went nuclear on Republicans over the Epstein files. Here, let's hear what she has to say.
Everyone that voted for Trump Vance, everyone was like, release the Epstein files.
Right.
This is not even an argument. It's
still,
not even
still
debatable.
Don't got him.
It's not being a traitor to the president to sign my name on a Thomas Massie discharge petition to release the Epstein files. No. I am staying true to what we've always said. There needs to be transparency. But the things that have shocked me this past week, and I was thinking about it this morning, I was like, you know, I've been here in Washington all week, and I've been at my office. I've been in the Capitol. There's two things I couldn't find this week. I couldn't find anywhere the Epstein files.
Actually, he would get 500,000 views normally. Somebody said you'll probably get another 500,000. Not anymore since I started covering politics again, and I covered that Podesta and all that other shit, the Spirit Cooking, Pizzagate, and all that other shit. I've been going hard, guys. I stepped it up and did really in-depth investigations into a lot of shit. I got suppressed. One of my the live stream, dude, it was a random live stream. It got hit with, you can go watch one of them. I don't even know which one it was. You guys can test this for me right now. Go to the live stream on a separate tab, and I guarantee you're going to get a warning. Yep. You'll get a warning if you go watch the live stream where it says criminals get jobs with benefits, but normal people can't. It was posted October 5th. It's age restricted. And then I went and I asked YouTube why I got age restricted. They just immediately shut me down and said, fuck off, age restriction. Age restriction. You'll get a warning for watching that video. Unbelievable, dude. So yeah, I don't know how many my videos don't get views anymore. The moment that age restriction happened. Actually, the one I just posted today is 2 hours in with 2,000 views, which is highly unusual. That's fine though. They can't stop me. They can't. Literally, YouTube or not, bro. We live for this shit. Literally. I love doing this. This is fun. You can't fucking built this shit, bro. Brick by brick. Banned or not banned. Yeah. It doesn't stop. You can't, for the love of the fucking game, right? I love the game. That's why we do this shit. I have fun talking shit and watching videos and making content. It's not work for me.
Also couldn't find the Republican plan to fix the absolutely destroyed health insurance industry that got wiped out in 2015 with Obamacare.
Yeah.
Like, those are the two things I can't find. And when Republicans, and I'm criticizing also Congress big time. I'm really grateful to a lot of the things the president is doing, but I'm really upset with the direction Congress is going. But when we are not doing anything to
she does come across as a nut job. She said some crazy shit, but she's being honest here. Like, where the fuck are the Epstein files? She's not bought by AIPAC. Everybody makes her out to be a joke. She did say some things that sound like they're a fucking joke, but hey, credit where credit is due. We were promised some things, and we are not getting what we were promised. And it's fair to make that criticism. People are just so caught up in this fucking whole glazing notion of like, you must accept the shit sandwich and all its issues. Like, no, how about, bro, we hold these people accountable? How about that? If you're signed in and you didn't get an age restriction, it's because you're signed in and you're old enough. But if you were to sign out and try to watch that video, you're blocked. I don't think you're allowed to watch
address the cost of living. We aren't doing anything about Blackstone buying up houses where most young people can't find a house and they're having to compete in bidding wars.
I say that shit all the time. If she's crazy, what am I?
And we're not doing anything about health insurance premiums. Then for the love of God, what are we doing?
Wow.
Boy, what a crazy broad that is, huh? Wow, she is just a wingnut, huh?
I can't stand her, Jimmy. Listen to that crazy shit she said.
Here she is doing what Bernie Sanders and AOC will never do while their party is in power. Criticize their party for not having a plan for people's health care. No plan. She says, where's the Republican plan to make healthcare affordable? Where's the Republican plan to make housing affordable, to stop BlackRock from buying up, and by the way, and Chinese billionaires too, from buying up property in the United States to make it unaffordable? And they sit empty, by the way. So the billionaires buy the housing and they sit empty, and all it does is drive up the price of housing in the United States. And there's no plan to help make housing affordable for Americans. None. Where's the plan? Where's the plan to make healthcare affordable? It's nowhere. In fact, they're doing the exact opposite. Right now, the government, Trump's administration, is cutting Medicaid and Medicare and subsidies to help people afford health insurance. They're cutting it all, and guess who that affects? It affects MAGA. And those people are going to feel it. And Marjorie Taylor Greene knows that.
Bro, that's crazy. I am agreeing
Marjorie
with
Taylor
MTG.
Greene.
What is happening in the world today? Unfortunately, America's for sale. You guys didn't see what Dawn did? Look, we'll end it with this shit. This is the craziest. Like, she even put, so this is Kim Iverson. For those that don't know, she does a lot of reporting stuff too. And this is treason.
Trump is
Watch
in
this.
the Middle East right now. He's speaking to the Israeli Knesset. I'm just going to play this clip. This is actually quite shocking.
I kept my promise and officially recognized the capital of
Or
Israel
for sale.
and moved the American embassy to Jerusalem. Isn't that right, Miriam?
He promised to recognize Jerusalem and to move the embassy to Jerusalem. Promise kept.
Promises made, promises kept. MAGA. Look at this shit. dude.
Miriam and Sheldon would come into the office. I think they had more trips to the White House than anybody else I can think of. Look at her sitting there so innocently. She's got $60 billion in the bank, $60 billion.
I cover this in the live stream. This is literally the video that's live right now that's getting suppressed.
But they were very responsible for so much, including getting me thinking about Golan Heights, which is probably one of the greatest things to ever happen.
Golan Heights, that was a big gift. He promised Golan Heights and he recognized.
So I'm gonna...
Come on, dog. She's gloating. Promises made, promises kept for Israel. Come on, dog. Where's MAGA in my comment section? I'm already going to get shit. I got the red hat. I made Make Masculinity Great Again. I got shit for it. You don't think I was supporting him? Everything over Kamala. Kamala was fucking death wish on America. But come on, big dog. Where's the Epstein files? Promises made, promises kept to MAGA. Where? Where, big dog? Where are the mass deportations? We got amnesty by another name. We got 600,000 Chinese students he's inviting that are compelled by the Chinese government to spy. We got H-1B visas running wild. The 100K fee that he was lauding only applies one time and does not even apply to everybody that's already on H-1B. And those H-1Bs can get transferred to the different kinds of visas when they bring their families and become permanent citizens. What the fuck's going on here, dude? Talk to me. Talk to me.
Get her in trouble with this, but I actually asked her once. I said, so Miriam, I know you love Israel. What do you love more? The United States or Israel? She refused to answer. That might mean Israel. We love you. Thank you, darling.
You see? So you didn't pick up on it because you didn't watch the entire speech he was giving, but everybody was dead silent when he made that joke. Like, he put her on the spot. Who do you love more, America or Israel?
For being here. That's a great honor. Great honor. She's a wonderful woman.
What? Excuse me? I'm sorry, you are the President of the United States of America. Miriam Adelson is supposedly an American citizen, and he's sitting there as the President of the United States saying that her and her husband visited the White House more than anyone. And when asked who she's loyal to, she refused to answer. And he's cheering that on, he's praising it, saying we love.
She's got $60 billion in the bank.
So great. It's an honor. You're an honor. I mean, are you kidding me? This is what Americans are fed up with. This is over the top. This is too much. This is treason. The President of the United States is admitting that he allowed traitors in the White House more often than anyone else. People advocating for the benefit of a foreign country. Dog. He allowed traitors into the White House over and over and over again, knowing that this is the way they are, saying that they're responsible for the Golan Heights, that they're responsible for him moving the embassy to Jerusalem. He's admitting that they are influencing American foreign policy, traitors in the White House. And you know what that makes Donald Trump? That makes him a traitor.
Based. I gotta watch more of her shows on YouTube. Based. Listen to this. This whole thread was just money. Oh my God, I didn't even have it. I didn't even have it on this. Oh Lord. Hold on.
And our leaders are low-life scum that screw little girls so the Jews can screw America. That's what's happening in this country. I just said it. That's what's going on in this country. And our FBI is corrupt. The Supreme Court is corrupt. The Justice Department is corrupt. The news media is corrupt. The whole country is corrupt. Because we've walked away from Almighty God and we've allowed Kabbalah practicing Jews to defile the nation. Put that video out. Go ahead and clip this video and send it out. I dare you. You won't do it.
Jesus, dude. What is this? Look at this.
Hello, I'm Ted Pike, and this is my wife, Alin. Today, a foreign government, Israel, operates the most powerful lobby in Congress. This is AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. Through control of Congress, Israel demands and gets nearly $5 billion annually. No elected official dares criticize Israel for fear the Jewish lobby will accuse him of anti-Semitism, the kiss of death for any politician. The president also knows what Israel wants, Israel gets. To act otherwise is political suicide. The mass media, founded and controlled primarily by Jews, manipulates the spigot of information out of which Heartland America drinks. The message of this contaminated source is, if you criticize Israel, you are anti-Semitic. Be safe. Keep your head down, or you are fair game for being knocked off by the Zionist shooting gallery.
As a result, our president and elected officials are slaves to political correctness when it comes to Jews and Israel. They cannot seriously criticize Israel, especially as the source of Mideast strife and terrorism. They cannot suggest an end of aid to Israel. They cannot even protest Zionist control of Congress.
Wow. Is there another video on here? Oh, the AIPAC tracker. Look at his APAC tracker, dude. Oh, damn. Kamala got 9 mils, but nothing beats good old Don. Don got 230 mils. Wow. JD Vance, 167. Mike Pence, 206. Kevin McCarthy, 400. 9 mil. Kamala. Even Tulsi got some money. Fuck, dude. Tulsi got some money? I was down with Tulsi. What the fuck? Cory Booker's in there. Andy Biggs. Look at this. Oh my God. Bought. Mark Kelly, he got 500,000. I swear, I think the Dems are going to run him in 28. Oh, Nancy doesn't need any of that money. Nancy's getting rich on insider trading. What's going on here? Adam Schiff, hold on. They're scrolling too fast. Good old Adam Shifty Schiff, 6.2 million, huh? God, they're going so fast. Jeez, Tom Cotton with 1 million. Who was that right before Tom Cotton? Oh, John Bozeman, yeah. Yeah, look at that one. 300. Can't even see, bro. There's so many of these. Lauren, 20,000. Oh, I'm surprised they didn't give her much. Okay. Byron Donalds, getting paid. Mike Johnson, 784, getting paid. Bond paid for. You see this shit? Oh, look at this. Look at this. This is great. This is great, dude. What is this?
JD Vance is giving rich. This secretive billionaire network, co-founded by JD Vance, is giving rich tech bros even more influence over our government.
Of course
it's called
they are.
Rockbridge Network, and insiders say it's one of the most influential conservative groups operating today. In 2019, Vance co-founded the political donor network alongside conservative publisher.
Dude, I want the 7K per pro-Israel post. APAC, please. I will post all day. Fly me out. I'm trying to touch the walls. That's legendary Instagram pics right there. I'm trying to travel. Come on, bro.
Chris Buzzkirk. It's funded by billionaires like Peter Thiel, Rebecca Mercer, and the Winklevoss twins. With the supposed goal of spreading Trump's brand of nationalism across the U.S. by pouring money into right-wing media, state legislature races, election polling, conservative companies to create a parallel economy, Christian political activism, and legal challenges against voting laws and government policies they find unfavorable. The invite-only membership costs $100,000 for a limited partner,
Lord.
But if someone wants even more influence, they can pay $1 million to be a principal partner. In 2024, the network had roughly 150 members.
Okay, co-founder. Chris Buzzkirk, co-founder. JD Vance, Rebecca Mercer, Peter Thiel, Ahmed Malik, David Sachs, Tucker Carlson, Leonardo Leo. Look at all these names, bro. Look at all the fucking insiders in the club. You're not invited. Okay.
This poured $75 million into shaping the outcome of the election. Most of them are Silicon Valley and Wall Street investors who have a lot to gain by further tipping the scales of power towards wealthy people like themselves and against everyday people.
Dude, this shit's crazy. We don't live in a democracy, dude. This is not democratic at all. Are you ready for the digital serfdom that's coming? Right? The techno-feudalism. Are you ready?
Tech investors who want less regulation, or want to weaken the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, which regulates Wall Street, or reduce oversight of crypto or AI. And they hide their funds behind nonprofits, donor-advised funds, and super PACs, making it hard to track the money. Even their events are secretive. Everyone should care about this, because this shadowy group is silently infiltrating our government, undermining democracy, and tipping the scales of power even further towards the tech oligarchy, which already exerts way too much control over us.
Yeah. And then we're giving Palantir access to all these systems, all the government databases, all together, all at once to create one mega system that's easily sifted through for all the information needed. Fucking bro, we're done.
Let me explain something about what is called the Jewish lobby in this country. Their belief is that being for Israel first, that does not mean you're putting America second. An American president, however, has to approach it in a different way, in my opinion. He's got always to think first of what is best for America. an American president must make a decision that does not, in effect, give the Israelis a blank check. And one example of that is a decision that I made. I decided early on in our administration that we were going to seek good relations with Egypt and others of Israel's neighbors. Many of my Israeli friends didn't like that.
Watergate. Then they got Watergate. The first female president of the United States, dude, that none of us voted for. Yes, the face of doom. It's the greatest deal that was ever made. It only cost $100 million. Jesus.
What's that mean, an AIPAC person?
Everybody but me has an AIPAC person.
What's that mean, an AIPAC person?
It's like your babysitter, your AIPAC babysitter, who is always talking to you for AIPAC. They're probably a constituent in your district, but they are firmly embedded in AIPAC. And
every member has something like this?
That's how it works on the Republican side.
That's how it works on the Republican side. MAGA!
Because I talked to people he said, Bibi's running around, this is a fact, I'm not guessing about this, because I talked to people he said it to, is running around the Middle East, his region, and his own country, and telling people point blank, just stating it, I control the United States. I control Donald Trump.
Oh, man. Who's this? 6 minutes of U.S. Congressman being asked directly, who is more important to the American people or Israel? No way.
That is, do you care more about the American? My name's Frankie Stocks. I'm a reporter with the Stu Peters Network. I would just love to ask you a quick question. I'm trying to ask every representative I can.
Go for it, Frankie.
That is, do you care more about the American people or Israel as a member of Congress?
I don't think they're mutually exclusive, Frankie.
Can you elaborate?
They're our best ally.
Are they? Who do you care about more, the United States or Israel? United States or Israel, sir? No answer? Should we put you down for Israel? Who do you care about more, the American people or Israel? It's an easy one. American people or Israel? You don't got to fake a phone call. American people or Israel? Who do you care about more, the American people or Israel? The American people or Israel, sir? Who do you care about more, the American people or Israel? No answer?
Damn, dude.
I think that Israel is one of our strongest allies in a part of the world where people are trying to harm us, and I think they need our support.
So should the U.S. continue funding Israel? Despite their links to the...
Bro, this guy only got $14,000. He can't even fucking answer the question. Why is this guy hardcore support for only 14?
9/11 or their attack on the USS Liberty? Who do you care about more, the United States or Israel?
You know what? That's kind of an odd question to ask.
Well, it's a question the American people have been asking a lot because they're starting to wake up to how much aid.
Dude, these people aren't. These are government people. These are literally people in the government taking our tax money, supposed to be representing us. This was the whole point of being called a representative is that you represent the people, your constituency. Apparently, their constituency is not America.
PAC money's flowing into the coffers of Congress.
Well, if you watch what I've done over the years since I've been here, the question about do we have some strong support for Israel, I think it would be hard to find somebody who's more positive about it than I have. So I'm amazed sometimes at where the American people are and how they think. It's like, this is so against everything I've heard. The people who raised me are accepted. So.
Well, we have American citizens who are about to freeze to death in Western North Carolina, and we're sending millions to Israel.
Look, he's trying to escape.
Well,
115,000.
it is a comparison because the money's going out. It's all coming from the same people. It's coming from the taxpayers, sir. Who do you care about more, the American people or Israel? American people or Israel, sir?
Wow.
Sir, they're equal. Are you serving Israel or are you serving America?
I stand with Israel.
Okay, so can you answer the original question? Who do you care about more, U.S. or Israel?
There's no variance. It's like you're asking, do you love your wife more than your daughter?
Well,
and you said,
what the fuck? Oh my God, dude. Do I even want to come back? Holy shit. This shit makes you want to question things. Do I have to get involved in politics? There's no other way. There's no way, bro. There's no way. You gotta run. We all gotta run. There's no way. There's no way. The beast is too large. Every single one of us gotta run. There's no way. And you're down from the local to the state to the Fed. Everybody's gotta run. The answer everybody wanted was you simply have one guy that's going to run for president. He's our guy. He's going to fix the swamp. You can't. It's too deep. There's too many tentacles grabbing at him. Even if you go into the presidency with the best intentions, you can't. Yeah, you're not voting your way out of this one. You're only going to run your way out of this one. Okay? You're not voting your way out. You have to run. You have to actually be involved. That's how you get out. You run your way out.
It's a simple question.
It is.
Do you love your wife more than your daughter?
I love the
That's
United
not a
States
simple
more than I love
question at
Israel.
all.
It's a very simple question.
Great love, and you as a human being, you express that love, and you have core principles that drive you to your love for your wife and your love for your daughter. It's two different loves, but neither of them is greater than the other. You understand?
Who's the priority when you're casting a vote?
Bro, he's glazing hard as fuck, and he only got 19,000. I can buy a senator. I can buy a fucking representative. I can buy a sitting U.S. rep for $19,000, and he'll glaze for me like that. He will love me like he loves his wife and his daughter. Holy shit.
Congress, America or Israel? It's a very simple question. You're not answering it, Representative.
Who do you care about more, the American people or Israel? American people or Israel, sir?
How much did you get, bro? Are you kidding me, dude? I gotta run. I gotta run. Guys in the chat, you gotta run. Clean up your act. I think they got too much on me on the internet. I don't think I could win. They'll play a supercut of me talking so much shit, I'd lose right on the spot for that. We have to get mega base for me to win. Listen, you guys, I can't. I think it's it's over for me. I'm too public. But you guys in the chat, just keep your fucking mouth shut. Wipe your stupid internet history, and you need to run. Okay, this is the only way.
Who do you care about more, the American people or Israel?
She looks fucking crazy.
No
Damn.
answer? Who do you care about more, the American people or Israel? American people or Israel, sir? Who do you care about more, the American people or Israel?
This is why they say MTG is crazy. Look at these people. Dude, I should fucking have a podcast with Nick Fuentes. I got so many questions that I haven't heard anybody ask him yet. I swear to God. I think I get my channel.
No answer? Who do you care about more, the American people or Israel? Well, who do you care about more?
How are they so cheap, bro?
American people or Israel, sir?
Dude, I can pay these people off. This is crazy. There's no way they're selling out for 30 G's. There's no way, dude. There's no way. There's no way you can buy someone like that for just 20, 30 racks. There's no fucking way, dude. Is this for real? Are we for sale for this low? OnlyFans models are making more money. Oh, someone said there's more kickbacks not mentioned here. Oh my God.
Who do you care about more, the American people or Israel?
Yeah, what are they getting? Like watches, dinners, flights, vacations, what else, huh? Pulling strings, family, right? Nepotism, getting jobs, daughters, sons, working somewhere nice. What is it, huh? There's no way it's just 30 racks. I can't, dude, I can't. There's no way.
American people or Israel, sir? Is it so hard to say you care about the American people who you're here to serve?
Fucking
The
hell.
American people believe that Israel holds disproportionate influence over
Look at him, bro. He looks like he just loves to take money and fuck America.
our own government, thanks to organizations
He better get at least 100.
like AIPAC, who are pumping millions of dollars into American politics, promoting Israel First policy. So,
if you want to share this information, you're doing a great job.
It's not misinformation. We have the campaign
60 G's, bro. Look at him. Physiognomy checks out. He sold it out. He sold out the country, bro. Physiognomy. He looks like he fucking sells out. That's what he looks like.
finance report, sir. It's not misinformation. Do you care more about the American people or about Israel?
Where are you from?
The Stu Peters Network. The Stu Peters Show just released a film called Occupied on this very subject, which I highly recommend to look up.
I'll do that.
But can you answer the question, sir? Do you care more about the American people or about Israel?
I'm an American. I care more about the American people.
You care more about the American people? Right, but should Americans take priority over Israel? We know AIPAC's pumping hundreds of thousands of dollars into congressional candidates. They're obviously getting some sway there. Should AIPAC register as a foreign agent?
Good question. Don't they already?
No.
What the fuck, bro? How do you... Aren't they already... You know, playing... There's nothing worse than just having your intellect... I can't believe this shit. Like, they're taking you for a fool. As if you're so fucking stupid. Aren't they already? Aren't they already registered? Huh? Aren't they already registered? Acting stupid, bro. Taking you for a fool, literally. Disrespectful. So disrespectful, dude. Making a mockery out of your own intelligence. Like, oh, you're too stupid to really know. How much did he get?
Yes.
How much did he get? He had to get something more than just 14, 15,000. He's a slick motherfucker. This is like a seasoned politician.
Are you recording?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Stu Peters Network, Frankie Stocks. We're asking the questions that the American people want answered by their representatives.
I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
86, dude.
Congressman, quick second. I'm Frankie Stocks with the Stu Peters Network, trying to ask all members I can this question. Very simple. Who do you care about more, the American people or Israel?
American people.
You are the first to have given me that answer, sir. Thank you. Yep.
American people. Number one, man.
Oh, what the fuck? This is treason. Fucking hell.
Say Israel. Okay, so like we're allowed to say Israel controls the media now. Okay, I think that's just like on camera. Now there will be no dispute about this. The fact that you have a foreign leader, it's incredible. You have a foreign leader who is sitting up there saying that he wants his agents, he needs the deal to go through, which, by the way, let's call out Donald Trump right now. Okay, all of the acting. We don't want China. We don't want China to own TikTok, and I'm worried about your data. No, you wanted to hand it over to your Zionist friends. Okay, it was all a mirage. Okay, it was all theater. Donald Trump has sold us out to Israel once again.
Fuck.
I am not Israeli.
Uh-huh.
The uniform that I wore in the military.
So that's her husband. He passed away not too long ago. Sheldon Adelson. And this was the woman, if you didn't see earlier, that he would put the little medal on. And the one that basically promised his cap.
Military, unfortunately, was not an Israeli uniform. It was an American uniform. Although my wife was in the IDF, and one of my daughters was in the IDF, and my two little boys, our two little boys, one of whom will be bar mitzvah tomorrow. Hopefully he'll come back. Thank you. Hopefully he'll come back. His hobby is shooting, and he'll come back and be a sniper for the IDF. All we care about is being good Zionists, being good citizens of Israel. All we care about is being good Zionists, good citizens of Israel. I am.
Jesus fucking Christ. Just look at the back of him. There is no American flag there. Fuck, bro. Damn. That's a good one right here. Oh, we're done. It's over. 60 million in the bank. All right. That's it. Check your tags, Bo. What tags? Yeah, I don't know what to say, dude. I'm going to bed on that one. It's really hard to get conservatives on board with what's happening because I don't know, the tribalism. The issue is, no, it's like such a team sport now. It's become such a joke, you know, bread and circuses. Nobody gives a fuck. We all know Democrats are bad. We know Kamala would have been worse. That's not the point. Like every time you point out what Trump does and how it's not America first, they fucking go like, you got TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. No, motherfucker, like you don't remember the campaign promises? You have to fucking glaze hardcore. Nobody wanted half of this shit that they're doing right now. We voted for America first. We voted for mass deportations. We voted for no new wars. We voted for the Ukraine war to end. We voted for a bunch of things that we still haven't got. Where are the fucking money that Americans were supposed to get from tariffs? You remember that one? We voted for what else? What other promises? God, there were so many promises. Then we ended up getting 600,000 Chinese. The H-1B was a bunch of bullshit. Amnesty by another name. Hotels and farms could keep their workers. The Doge check in the mail any day now. What else, guys? Warp speed, no explanation. That's a good one. We had Operation Warp Speed. Yeah, you remember that? The so-called vax that everybody started finding out wasn't as safe as Pfizer and everybody else reported. And all that information about turbo cancers. What else? Myocarditis and all the other shit. Women are having problems getting pregnant now. Do you know there's like reports, unsubstantiated because I don't have the citations and who fucking did the study, but apparently from what I read, it may be misinformation. I probably have to say that, right? That women that are like 25, 30 years old have the egg quality of like 45-year-old women. These are rough estimates. I don't have the exact numbers on hand. Do not fucking quote me. Look it up yourself. This may be misinformation. I have to say that. Okay. But women are having worse egg quality and struggling to get pregnant while they're young. That's just one of many. Who knows what else is going to happen with these spike proteins and whatever else. Okay. What else was there? What other promises? Yeah, dude. Anytime you call this stuff out, I read it in the comment section. They're like, TDS. Oh, you wanted fucking Kamala. Oh, you can never give them a win. Trust the plan. Yeah, trust the plan. Tired of winning yet? Give me my award. It's fucking insane. The no tax on tips and overtime did happen. I think that was with the big, beautiful bill. Yeah. Oh yeah, wasn't he supposed to bill for the crypto bros? What happened with the whole Bitcoin thing that he was supposed to build up? What was that? What did he call that shit? A treasury for Bitcoin? What happened with that? I know crypto was pumping big. Oh my God, and then I forgot the whole crypto thing. He had the Trump Liberty coin, then he had his own the Bitcoin reserves, right? Then he had the what else was it? He had the Millennia coin. And then I think there was also a Baron coin. I can't even remember. He basically pumped and dumped and crypto rug pulled his own supporters. You guys remember that? We have a crypto rug pulling president. That's crazy. And then Charlie Kirk passed away, and then he just basically that was very weird. You would think like the guy that helped you get elected, that you would honor his passing a bit more than just like, oh yeah, and then I'm renovating the new wing in the White House. What the fuck was that? Dude, it's so fucking weird. I don't know. This whole government's weird. This timeline is fucking weird. What are we living in is weird. The geopolitics are weird. The West is falling apart and crumbling. Mass fucking migration. Europe's committing fucking civilizational suicide. We sold out to Israel. We closed the border, but essentially handed a certain sect of society carte blanche to basically be first-class citizens above everybody else. Oh, 40 billion to Argentina? I know I saw 20 billion. Did it increase to 40 billion? So what was he? He's the libertarian down there? Afuera! Cut the government programs. Oh shit, can't stimulate growth. So it didn't fucking work. And they lost like a crucial election. And he doubled it. Great. So 40 billion, dude. 40 fucking billion. Now 100 mil to Europe? I don't know. How much more? Okay, and then the ceasefire. I know we covered the ceasefire. How long is the ceasefire going to take? Unreal, dude. I'm over it. Yeah, politics is exhausting, dude. That's why you can't be too emotional in politics. You almost have to look at it from like a third person perspective. An omniscient view on it where you don't really care. Don't think of it as teams. Don't have a side. Don't pick. Pick America. That's it. Even if you pick America, you'd be really fucking upset, right? It's hard not to, especially when you're struggling in this economy. There's no good jobs. You can't start a family. The pay is shit. Housing has escaped you. You can't afford, and you will never probably end up buying a house. This was probably the last train to buy a house for you. The interest rates are absolutely insane. The job numbers, they're all fucking cooked. They keep revising them down. We lost 1 million jobs practically. I don't even know, dude. It goes on and on. Yeah. Learn the code turned into mass unemployment. You remember that? They were telling everybody, you need to learn the code. Turns out all coders lost their jobs, and now we're ushering in the new techno-feudalist lifestyle called big tech with AI. Let's let Palantir have all the information so Alex Karp can just drop piss-filled fucking bombs on us that are laced with fentanyl. You remember he actually said that shit. Dude. You're not voting your way out of this. The only way out of this is to run for office. And in enough numbers that we just replace the lowlifes, the sellouts in government. That's the only way. Yeah. This is insane. Anyways, Appreciate you guys for tuning in. How long have we been going here, dude? 2 hours, 3 hours? Okay. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We will be on same time tomorrow as usual. I believe it is 2 o'clock Eastern time for you guys is when we're starting, if I am correct. 2 o'clock Eastern. I would love to stream later when everybody's home from work and all that, but I'm currently in Croatia, boys. So it's going to be a minute before I get back to Phoenix.
Sempery loaded $4.99. We lost the Cold War before it even started. We are just in the stage 4 hospice part of the complete and utter loss.
Thanks, Semper Reloaded. Appreciate everybody that donates, super chats. Everybody that gets apparel. That's how we make the money for the channel, by the way. We don't push any products because no good companies have approached us for good products. Everything is fucking slop. I'm not about to do the Tej Hanley shit. So thank you if you've been getting shirts, apparel, and if you've been donating. Thank you. What else? Oh, your family immigrated from Split, Croatia during World War II? Nice, dude. I'm currently in Istria, and it is very nice here. However, I do miss my home. I do miss America. I miss a lot of things about America. Look, life overseas is great. I'm only here temporarily. I thought about staying permanently, but when you're raised since a baby in America, language, your people, the insider jokes, the cultural relevance, I miss the big roads, the big trucks. I miss my Ford Raptor. I miss my fucking desert running. I miss hiking and the beautiful North American scenery. I do miss my slop food, although I eat healthy. I still miss my slop food every once in a while. I miss places being open 24/7. I miss people just being slaves to their jobs and never having vacations. It was so convenient to just go buy shit because it's never closed because corporations don't give a fuck about you. It's funny, but I miss that. I love America for that. I miss just getting the fucking car and go driving for 10 hours in one direction and I'm still in America and the scenery completely changes. I go from desert to fucking alpine mountains. I miss that shit. I miss the homies. I miss the rest of the family out in America. And I will be back, dude. Yeah, very soon. Soon as can be, actually. Yeah. For all its shortcomings, there's still no greater place on earth. That's why we talk shit. That's why we talk shit, dude, because it should be better. I shouldn't be going overseas, traveling through all these countries on vacation and seeing them doing anything better than America. What the fuck is that about? That's the part that gets me upset the most. Why the fuck am I overseas in these countries that have like 100th of the population, 1,000th, if that, the money, with budgets that are complete ass? There are Americans richer than these countries. Why the fuck are they running smoother than us, operating more efficiently, and the people are living a higher quality of life or a better standard of living? That's what pisses me off. That's why I'm upset. That's why I talk about this shit. If I didn't care, I wouldn't be talking about it. This is what the fuck is so annoying. We got too much money, too many smart people with too many opportunities, and too much know-how and expertise to not be doing shit better than literally every fucking body else. That shit is annoying, bro. Anyways. Yeah, sounds like I need a robot. I need a robot to make me feel better. Get a robot in there. Bring the fucking robots. All right, boys. It's been nice. Go touch some grass. Get some sleep. Good morning, good evening, good night, depending on where you're at. And we'll see you tomorrow. As usual, go watch the last video that got uploaded. Go watch it deeply, intently, and go see what the fuck I'm talking about. Because I take a lot of time to make those. And go comment And go hit the like button, because apparently if you don't do that, we're in algorithm hell and shit, apparently. Jeez Louise. And we'll see you on the next one. Take care.